Yeah, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Totem Podcast. Today we got a different location where we got some special guests for you guys here out of Fort Morgan. I want to start you guys off with a little quote. I hate every minute of it, but I tell myself not to give up. Suffer now and live the rest of your life a champion, by Muhammad Ali. And today, I present to you guys the one and only Ernie, the Gladiator Marquez. How you doing, man?
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. How you guys doing, man?
Oh, we're doing good,
Pretty good, man.
We came here to the den, I guess.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. It's amazing. It blows my mind. Like I said, like I was telling you, man, just last night I was sitting here just breaking into tears looking at what we've created from when we started here in Fort Morgan, moving over here in 1996, man. It's unbelievable.
It's a ride for sure, huh?
Yeah, I guarantee you, man.
It's my first time in here, and I'm just like, damn.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet.
A lot of people that walk in here and they're like, man, I would have never guessed you got something like that. It's like a little hole in the wall back here. You got a nice little setup back here. They would have never guessed. And we're going to get some more signage out front and kind of better advertisement.
Okay. Yeah, we're right now. The gym's we're off of Platte.
Yeah, 835 Platte, the same building as Pets Are People too.
Right here, just
on the
out
east
back.
side. Yeah, just out between in the CarQuest parking lot. You pull into that parking lot and you'll see our sign right there, man.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much, you got a lot of motivation. Pretty much, you just look around. You got all these paintings and everything. Like,
yeah, well,
you don't need more motivation.
We've been fortunate, man. We've been fortunate with these paintings and the way we put it all together. I started in this location. It was in October of 2016, and I was on a board member on another nonprofit organization with Jody Walker. Kids at Their Best. I was on that board of directors. I was on the board of directors there, and she had the opportunity she was renting the building or the office next door, the office space, and she kind of presented me with an offer. Would I be wanting a place? Because she knew that I ran the boxing gym before and that our family was into the boxing, and she kind of showed me this an empty shell. When we came in here, it was just everything, just cement walls, cement floors, just white walls, cement floors. There was nothing in here, man, and once I looked at it, I'm like, let's make this happen. Yeah. I didn't have no damn money. I had
Didn't know
passion.
how you were going to do it.
I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had passion, man. And just having Jody right there, I really am very thankful and grateful for getting connected with Jody and making that connection with Jody and her daughters. They're a nice family. They helped get us here in this building here, and we kind of established ourselves after that.
That's cool, dude. But I mean, once you start it off like from scratch, I mean, you can give it your own touch, or it's like they say, put your hand in the cookie jar. So it's like you see how far you've gone. Be like, hey, I'm a bad motherfucker. I've done a lot of shit.
It blows my damn mind, man. I swear, man. When I look back, it's like, cause I'm a kid from the hood, man. I didn't know any different, man. No business sense, no nothing. I knew I had a lot of love in my heart and a lot of passion for the sport. And like I said, my mom was a boxer, my dad was a boxer, my grandfather was a boxer. I got cousins, uncles that are professional boxers. It's in the blood.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. And just when my parents started the program over here in 1998, I was only 16. I was still boxing, and they started it because of me and my brothers.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. You said kind of like when you grew up in the hood. Like, where'd you grow up? How was your like? If you could talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, get into childhood a little bit, man. We grew up in Pueblo, on the south side, in the Pueblo Village apartments and the projects on the south side, man. Yep. Me and my cousins, my family, my shit, all my friends, man. We had the whole crew over there, man. It was, and to this day, we are all still friends, man. We all stay in touch. I mean, we don't see each other all the time, but through social media, we're able to stay connected, and we're all still friends. Still, I mean, from the childhood on, man, all of us, we grew up over there in the Boys and Girls Club, at the Boys and Girls Club on the south side in the projects. And then we moved to the Ville. They were the Blue Apartments. They called them the Smurf Village.
Why do they call them that?
Because they were all blue. The apartments were all blue, and it looked like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, they call it the Smurf Village. It was crazy. They call it the Smurf Village, and that's where our family, we kind of moved over there. Shit, I don't even remember what year it was. Late 80s, maybe. Yeah, probably mid 80s, mid to late 80s. We moved over there, and I was a fucking kid, man. And then you move into the hood, you get into the bullshit, man. Everybody, and back then, I didn't even realize it was bullshit that I was getting into. That was just life. It was fun, man. I didn't even know I was. I didn't realize I was underprivileged. I didn't even know what the fuck underprivileged was, man. I was just living and loving it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing they say, like, the 5 people you hang around with are it's kind of what you become, you know. So it's like if all your people are like that, you're just like, I'm fucking normal, you know. This is what I'm supposed to be, you know.
Especially if you grow up like that, it's like that's all you know. You don't know anything else.
Like I look back, my parents, they grew up kind of the same type of an environment. You know what I mean? They grew up the same way. You know what I mean? Underprivileged, in poverty. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful, man, for everything that has happened in our lives that has led me to here. It just fuck, dude. I feel like I'm right where I need to be, man. It's beautiful, dude. It's crazy. It's a trip. Looking back, because my boxing coach that started boxing with us, he was actually my grandfather's boxer. It was a boxer. My grandfather started boxing in our family in I believe it was the 60s.
Was he the one that kind of, you know, for your grandfather and then probably your dad?
Yeah. Who it was my mom's dad. His name is Richard Marquez, Richard Ernest Marquez, and that's kind of where I got my name from. But is my mom's dad, and he started boxing in the 60s. He started boxing in the military, maybe the 50s or 60s. He was boxing, but when he got out of the military, they were in the hood. They were in the projects over there on the south side, and there's a boys and girls club over there. And my gramps was always doing stuff with the kids, coaching football, coaching basketball, coaching baseball, always coaching. And on top of that, he was an alcoholic, but man, a beautiful heart. The guy had a good heart, but always there with the kids. And he started boxing. When you got a bunch of little hood kids that have been fighting since they could fucking crawl, and you give them a place where they can fight and they flourish in that shit, man. They go far. It's home, man. It's home.
Let's go.
You throw them in that ring, that's home, man. They've been fighting since they were fucking babies, man. You put them in there and they're at home, and it's like I said, that's where the boxing started in my family.
Do you think, like how you said, like when they're young and they start getting into boxing, it kind of, do you think that's a kind of like a good thing for them? Because you're saying like you're in the project, it kind of gets them out of the streets and like it makes them train.
It can. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say there's a couple of ways that can go, man. If you have a good coach, well, like I would say my first boxing coach that I had was my boxing coach was my grandpa Richard when I was a baby. But my first memorable boxing coach that I remember when I was 8 years old and had my first sanctioned boxing match was Chris Archuleta. And that was one of my grandfather's boxers. And that, I believe the coach is what's going to make the kid. It's going to make the boxer. It's going to make him either a better boxer, a better kid, a better human, you know, overall. And Chris Archuleta, man, that was, I got to say that dude right there was our savior, man. Because in 89, when my grandfather passed away, he was on my grandpa's deathbed and told my grandfather, I'm going to train your grandkids. My grandpa passed away in 89. He started picking us up. Man, this dude was 25 years old, single. He was there every single day, dude, 5 days a week, sometimes on the weekends for like 6 years straight. In that short 6-year period, man, that motherfucker saved us, bro. He saved all of us, man. That was our savior. We didn't have, you know what I mean? It was a shitty environment that we had, and the people that were in the environment in the Ville over there and in the projects, they weren't people to look up to, you know what I mean? Although we still looked up to him. My cousin Dokes was the dope man. They had the baddest cars, you know, sound systems and shit like that. Everybody in there, I remember everybody at the Ville, all of them, you know what I mean? Everybody running the game, even my mom, my dad, they were... You knew how... I knew it was all about,
they're up to something, you know?
Yeah. I knew what the fuck it was all about, though. But Chris, when he took us in, man, he showed us discipline, man.
That's crazy.
And love. It's insane, bro. It's insane, dude. It's crazy to me that a guy that was 25 years old just dedicated. I mean, I'm not shitting you, man. He was religiously there every fucking day. And there was times we'd be hiding because we didn't want to go to practice. I'm not shitting you, bro. And he would get out of the van. Well, he had a fucking Camaro, bro. That dude fucking traded in his Camaro to get a big ass van for the team. You know what I mean? Because
everybody around.
They don't fit.
Bro, like
they don't
I said,
fit no more.
It's a trip, bro. It's a trip that he put that much into it. Like just being a single fucking dude. He didn't have nobody. He was there religiously every single day, bro, 5 days a week, picking us up, chasing us down, and by him doing that, man, that was the pivotal point in our life. I would have to say Chris was that motherfucker was our savior, man. I don't care what and he's so damn humble. Even to this day, I was just over there this past week, and I stood over there till midnight bullshitting with him.
Where's he?
In Pueblo. He lives in Pueblo still. Okay. Yeah, that's where we were at in Pueblo. But
cool.
I still go over there and talk to him, and the dude's so damn humble. He's still like, no, man, no, Ernie, you guys. I'm like, dude, he doesn't even realize, man. He doesn't understand. He doesn't even understand, realize how much of an impact that he had in not only like my life, but our whole fucking generation, man. I have 2 brothers, I got cousins, all of us, man. He took us all in and just, and so far, such a fucking nice dude, man. Just the most beautiful heart on the dude, man.
That's
awesome, dude.
Why do you think he was like such like religiously like disciplined with you guys?
I truly believe that my grandfather had an impact on him that was it was my grandfather's the one that, and because he's the one that told us that. He's like, I'm continuing you what your grandfather showed me, you know what I mean? But it's just, to me, man, I was 20, I mean, I'm just thinking of a 25-year-old kid, man, who the fuck's going to dedicate that much time? I mean, I'm not shitting you, bro. It was daily, every single day, Monday through Friday, he'd pick us up, and then Saturday we were going to, and he didn't charge none of our parents anything, man. It was fucking crazy, dude. He would just take us out of the love of his heart, and I just think that my grandfather has such an impact on him that, because my grandfather was an amazing man. I talked to so many people, and my grandfather was an amazing man, dude. He had a beautiful heart, and he genuinely gave a shit. He genuinely gave a damn, man. He really cared about, the people in the community, his community where he was living. He was living in the projects over there. He genuinely started the boxing program. He was doing stuff for the kids. He genuinely gave a shit. And Chris picked that up and showed that to us. And he, you know what I mean? And that's, I operate this is the thing in here, man. Our team, our gym, I run the same operation how he used to train us. We warm up, we get ourselves warmed up. It's just the same thing, man. Same operation. Same thing, man.
Consistency, just keep it going,
baby. And like I said, and the big thing that I feel like I took from him as a coach is the love that I have for my team, because he fucking loved us, man. That was like I said, man, he was our fucking, that was our savior, man. He loved us, and he genuinely gave a shit, and that's how I feel about my team. I know that you know what I mean? These kids, they come, they look up to me. They look up to me because they, you know what I mean? They think of me as a fuck, I don't know, man. They think of me as somebody special, dude. I'm just like, it's amazing, bro.
He's the guy here.
Yeah, I'm the dude. It's like, dude, I'm just me, man. I love you guys. I want you guys to have the best for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's one thing that I would say I took from Chris, and I believe Chris got that from my grandfather, and it's going to carry on, man. It's going to carry on,
just passing down the traditions.
Love, man. Yeah, just keeping it going, man. And it's like I said, it's about love, man. When you got love for something, you're gonna work your fucking ass off. You're gonna go hard for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're gonna go hard for it, and it shows. And one of the analogies that I use, man, is that boxing ring right there is life. That boxing ring is life. When you step in that son of a bitch, you got nobody to look after you. You got nobody to blame, and nobody to thank. You know what I mean? You're in there putting in all the fucking work. Us coaches are out here showing you what to do. You got teammates, you got sparring partners, you got everybody influencing you, helping you, showing you different things. But the minute you get in that fucking ring, you got nobody. It's on you. Yeah,
it's all you.
It's all you. 100% you.
You better watch out, because he's coming.
You can't blame someone else like, they didn't do their job or anything.
It's nothing. It's the same shit in life, man. I mean, you got your family, you got your wife, you got if you got kids, if you got your parents still, if you're lucky enough, you know what I mean? You got everybody supporting you right there. But the minute you got to go, whether it's school, whether it's work, when it comes time to take care of kids, when it comes time to pay the bills,
it's all
who the fuck you got? You got you. You ain't, and you, I mean, you. What's shitty right now these days, man, and as I see a lot less accountability than before when I was younger, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and that's what we try to show them in here. It is fucking you. You are the master. You're doing it. It's all you. You ain't got nobody but you.
You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make the motherfucker drink.
Exactly, man. And that's just it, man. And like I said, I let them know there's gonna be times in life when they're in the corner taking a fucking beating. For instance, they're on the verge of losing their job. Their girlfriend broke up with them. Their wife's cheating on them. Whatever it is, that's the same analogy. You're in the corner getting your ass beat. You gonna sit there and lay down and quit? Are you done? That's not. We don't teach that shit in here. You slow down, but you don't fucking quit. And you can ask the coaches, you can ask the team, you can ask everybody. You slow down, but you don't quit. When life's kicking you in the fucking ass, you stand the fuck up. And you show life what it's all about. You got everything it takes, and we let every one of them know, bro. It's crazy, man. And that's some shit I learned from my boxing coach.
Dude, that's crazy.
I feel like the first step is just getting in the ring.
That's it, bro.
That's the problem, because a lot of people just want to stay home with their parents. They don't want to go out into the real world or anything. But taking that first step, takes
huge, bro.
Takes a lot of balls.
It's huge, man. It's huge, and I'm glad you said that about people being afraid, because we get so many people that, like, I get messages and shit, and they're like, I want to come in here and I want to train, but I will maybe next week. All right, I want you.
You're just scared to get your ass kicked. That's pretty much what it is.
Man, I hate to say that, but I mean, for a lot of the time, it's a lot of nerves, man. And
I mean, that's the only way. That's the best way to learn.
Best way to learn, man. And you face that shit head on. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, once they get in here, they realize that fucking first punch in the face, it's not the end of the world, man. Yeah. It hurts, and that's a lot of them. It's the make or break point, to where you see them turn their head, and it's either they take a knee and like, fuck this, I'm done, or they like bam, they punch back, and you see that face kind of like, all right, motherfucker, bite down on that mouthpiece and let's fucking go. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's intense, bro. It's intense. But you see a lot of it making or breaking. And the thing is, bro, over here, it's like you don't even have to be in the fucking ring to get to that point. The conditioning, the training that we do, I'm not shitting you, man. We go rounds in here, so it's timed intervals. So you're going until that bell rings. And I'm not shitting you. Whatever exercise we're doing, there's times where you're throwing punches, and it's like
you're barely going.
You can't even fucking do it, man. And they're wanting to stop, and they'll want to stop. And we got coaches, we got teammates, we got everybody right there. Let's go, keep going, keep them fucking punches flowing. Let's go, stay moving. You know what I mean? To keep them going, letting them know there's no fucking quit. This is on you.
Let's roll.
This is on you. This is on you. Just like life, it's on you. You either want to keep going or you want to quit. And that's where a lot of them find themselves. They break through that fucking that plateau where they think they can't get past it. They think I can't do this, and it's fucking unbelievable watching them, especially the young kids when they come in here. They walk in the first day, they're fucking kind of timid. They got their shoulders in, kind of head down, looking around, kind of like, damn, this is crazy. This is badass. These guys look like they're tough as shit. You know what I mean? And then after a week, they realize, fuck, I can do this. I'm
one of them now, huh?
I am one of them, exactly. I am one of them. What the fuck? I can do this. And bro, the confidence they take with that, I'm telling you, man, it's some amazing shit. It's the most amazing shit I ever seen. Because it's not only like in the gym, they carry it with them outside the gym, like obstacles in life. They're not afraid to take on obstacles. They realize I can overcome this shit. Anything they can overcome. And I'm seeing progress in school, at home, like all over. I mean, it's like in every aspect of their life, bro. 'Cause it's like they're gaining that power of themselves, that power back in themselves, man. And that's some of the shit. Like boxing, jiu-jitsu is another one that teaches that shit. That's fucking amazing.
What age do you think? What age groups do you guys have like that come here? You know,
the youngest that we have.
Because some people think their kids like, no, my little kid's too small. Like, they baby them a little bit too much, you know.
Well, and a lot of them too, they worry about like a brain injury or getting hit in the head, too many hits in the head. And the gloves that they wear 12-ounce gloves to boxing, these kids. So they're fucking like, I don't know if you remember the grudge match back in like the 90s when they had them grudge match gloves, when they had them big ass fucking 20, 30-ounce gloves. Yeah. It's kind of what it looks like these kids are boxing with. And a lot of them, at that small, you're not going to, it's not a lot of, very seldom. I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard of a kid having any brain injury. Like I've never, in my entire boxing fucking knowing of boxing, I've never heard of.
And do they wear like the kids? Well, they have like their headgear, so it's like safe for them, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I have our headgear over there. I was going to show you, but it's we have headgears that are actually the headgears that they compete in. They have to be certified by USA Boxing.
Okay.
So you can't box with the headgear that is not certified by USA Boxing, and it's got all the safety precautions, and it's a pretty big deal. The safety in boxing and in fact, there's been when we've been at boxing out of state, or they see stoppages. The referees stop the fights kind of early. Like they see a kid take a couple of hits, bam, bam, and they stop the fight. And you see coaches getting pissed off, like, "What the fuck? My guy was still going. He wasn't even hurt. What the fuck? You know what I mean?" And you get into a conversation with one of them referees, and they'll tell you that they would rather stop 1 billion fights too early than one fight too late.
That's true.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So they take that safety real serious. Yeah, they take that shit serious, and which they should. I mean, which is right. And they are in a tough position, because I've seen referees get their asses chewed, man. I've seen their asses get chewed. I just want to show you guys real quick. We got my boxing coach. Yeah, we got some of the headgears right here, some of the gloves. I said you can see that these are 12-ounce gloves right here. These are some of the headgears.
What age about like kids use it, like something like this?
A kid like this, you'll catch a 6, 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid boxing with 12-ounce
so
gloves.
Like, I mean, like they're pretty big for like a little kid, you know.
Yeah,
so
they're a big glove for a little kid. Yeah, and you can see the headgear here. It protects the cheeks. Everything. And a lot of the sparring headgears that we use are like this, to where you don't see a whole lot of the face.
Pretty much got You're pretty much tunnel. You're like right.
Well, I mean, the punches you got a pretty good vision through here, and a lot of the guys get frustrated because they can't breathe and shit. But they what it is they're not taking a lot of the punch, and the pad in there. It's a nice
the eye sockets
and
stuff like that.
It takes the impact. It takes the impact. So safety is the biggest thing. Safety is the biggest thing that we focus on in here, and that's why we don't spar every single day. A lot of gyms, like they'll kids will be like, well, I want to spar, and they want to spar every day. I'm like, you guys don't understand. You need to learn how to box before I can just throw you in there to let you spar.
They just want to go to fucking war.
Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise it's just a fucking fight.
Right
it's not even a boxing match. It's a fucking fight. And it's just, there's no skill, no style, no technique. Yeah. You're in there just trying to fucking knock out your opponent. And with it's just wild chaos. And it's like boxing it's an art. It's a technique. In fact, that's what one of the kids told us in our kids class. It was fucking awesome. Because what I have to do is when we get a lot of new kids, we have to stop the kids class before it, because sparring days is Wednesdays for our kids class. And there's times where I have to stop the class when we get a lot of new kids, and we kind of have a little discussion, and we go over the difference between boxing and fighting. And a lot of the kids, they don't know the difference.
What is the difference?
And I'll explain to you, man. It was amazing. One of the kids, it was pretty badass. I was like, does anybody know the difference between boxing and fighting? And the one kid's like, boxing is an art. You fucking nailed it. I didn't say, yeah, you nailed it, bud. You nailed it. And then I explained to them, another form of art is drawing and painting. I said, in whatever art that you are doing, you have to stay focused. I said, okay, and that's going to be the difference between boxing and fighting. When you are fighting, you're emotionally charged. And trying to explain this to kids is not easy. My God, it's not easy. But using examples, it's fun as hell, though, man. It's fun. I love watching their reactions and getting their answers. Because when I ask them, what's the difference? They'll come at me with some amazing shit, man. I fucking love it, man. They got the best
creativity roll.
Oh, they got the best answers out of anybody fucking ever, dude. It's amazing. But letting them know, like, okay, another form of art is painting and letting them know you got to stay focused. In the fighting, I said, when you're fighting, you're emotionally charged. You're either embarrassed, you're angry, you're pissed off at somebody, you're whatever it is, you're emotionally charged. I said, so you don't have no control over your actions. Boxing is an art. You need to stay focused and you need to control yourself. Because if you're doing art, that's what I told them. If you're doing art and you're not focused, what is your art piece going to look like?
Just scribbles.
A scribbled up piece of piece of paper. Go. I said that's why you need to stay focused when you're in here. And one of the kids, they like every day after sparring on Wednesday, I asked them, did anybody get mad? And yeah, I cried. Yeah. They'll let you know. I'm like, okay, but you controlled yourself. This is where you learn and this is where you grow. You get punched in the face. You don't lose your shit. I don't tell the kids this, but I'm explaining them. You don't lose your, you don't lose your cool. You don't get angry. You don't get mad. You maybe get sad, but you control yourself and you go back to boxing.
Going.
You don't turn it into a fight. Yeah,
practice is done and you're still here. Like everything's good. Everything's gonna be okay.
It's amazing watching them do that though, man. But showing them that fighting is just chaotic and you got no control. It's emotionally charged. It kind of helps, and then when I'll talk to one of the kids, individual, and be like, "Hey, man, I see you're angry," because they'll be pissed off. I'm like, slow it down, control yourself, breathe. It's not easy to do, but it is fun watching the reaction, man. Kids are freaking awesome. I love it.
Have you had kids? So you say like Wednesday you're sparring, kids want to spar. So is it Wednesday, like, do you see it to tend to get a little bit more full? Like their buddies, like hit another buddy, like, motherfucker, show up, I'm gonna kick your ass today. Practice.
And a lot of it is too is that we let them know that if they don't have a mouthpiece, they can't spar.
Oh, okay.
So you get the kids that are determined as shit, and they'll go get a mouthpiece and buy a mouthpiece right away. Get a mouthpiece so they can box. Then you'll get some of them kids that are all talk like, yeah, I want to spar, but I forgot my mouthpiece. Every fucking sparring day, I forgot my mouthpiece.
Like,
and they know it's every Wednesday.
They know it's every Wednesday. Yeah, come on, man. You know damn well. And what was amazing, bro, was when my mom and dad ran the boxing gym. That was some of the best shit ever, man. Because like I said, we're from the hood, man. We didn't know, and there was no filter. I myself, I became a little more mature as an adult and kind of understood raising my kids in the community. You got to be a little more cautious how you talk to kids. My mom and dad were just straight up, and to this day, man, they're straight up. They'll tell you exactly how it is, and they're beautiful hearts. You know what I mean? They're willing to help, willing to give to anybody, but they're straight the fuck up, no bullshit, cut and draw. Yeah, they'll tell you how it is. Like I'll give you for instance, and I'm not gonna throw no names out there, but there's one of the kids, we had a kid boxing. He wasn't even a kid. He was fucking 16 or 17 at the time. I mean, I guess a kid, yeah. But he thought he was a badass, and he was in there boxing. First round, man, he was doing amazing. He wasn't even losing the fight, but he got fatigued. Looked up at the referee and gave him the no mas, the throat chop. Like, I'm done. Yeah, and my mom and dad, the first thing, the kid came walking back to the ring, and my mom said, "That's a bitch shit." And she said his name. She was like, "What the fuck? That's not what the hell we show you." And she was like, straight the fuck, like, hardcore, bro, hardcore. Anyway, it's like, damn, so I told my mom, I'm like, man, if I talk to these kids the way you talk to these kids, I might get charged or some shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and another time there was a kid sparring in Greeley. We took him we take him out of town to go spar. Even like last night, we were in Greeley sparring. And Tuesday morning.
Are they getting prepared for fights or?
Getting them prepared for fights. It's just when we spar here at the gym, they don't let loose. They're not able to cut loose and like fucking go 100% like their teammates. We're not trying to kill our teammates. So we go to the other gyms and we kind of open it up for them. But when my mom and dad were training, we took the kids to Greeley, and there was this kid, man. He went in there and he started throwing like like a fucking like a kangaroo, like throwing punches. And I'm not shitting you, my mom. What the fuck is that? We did not teach you how to do that shit. We didn't teach you how to do that shit at the boxing. What the shit? Take the headgear, the gloves off. I'm like, fucking.
Go sit down, pretty much.
Next day, we get some aunt or somebody coming over. And Like, so we heard you were talking, and my mom, well, listen, if this kid's gonna be fucking coming to practice every day, sitting on his ass and not doing nothing, he could just fucking stay home. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah.
Right,
like, all right, Mom, you're 100%
there
right.
You go.
And that straightened that kid up. He never came back, you know what I mean? But it's just, she was straight the fuck up.
Some people gotta know, huh?
That's what I'm about to pull her back on the team over here, because we're now that we're starting to get competitive, shit's getting serious, and you take kids to go spar, and some that they want to jack around at practice all the time.
Yeah.
And then to come time for sparring for the competitive fighters, they're like, yeah, I want to go spar. And we all know, we're like, dude, you're not ready to spar, but they want to go anyway. So we're like, fuck it, let's go. We take them. And it's almost embarrassing for the team, but I mean, we're good. I don't give a shit.
You need to let them fly.
But it's like, dude, you know you weren't ready. When the hell are you over here making yourself look, you know, like you're not ready, making us look like our team is not ready? It's like, let's get yourself prepared before we take you to go to another team to go make everybody on our team look bad. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't want that shit.
So is that kind of how it goes? Like to define it, like say they want to go spar, or say where they want to start going a little bit more pro.
Yeah,
is that kind of what defines? So is it kind of like you'd kind of make the decision because you're their trainer, or is it kind of like a mutual kind of?
It's more
like,
of a
hey,
mutual
you're not ready,
thing.
bro.
We all decide on this shit together. You know what I mean? It's more of like, what it is there's levels to this shit, man. We start in the gym, and for the most part, what we start off with, and I developed these training drills, sparring drills that we developed because I had my daughters boxing when they were younger, and they're gonna get pissed off when they hear this. But when they were younger, because females are very emotionally charged, and when you got sisters sparring each other, holy fuck!
They go home and it's fucking.
Dude. Oh no, just sparring. You put gloves and headgear on them. It's not boxing. They're fucking. It's intense. My daughters are amazing, man. They're some warriors, bro. They're beasts. But with that, we've developed drills of sparring. So it's like, and there's some levels to this shit to where you can't just go in there and go spar. Like taking somebody that's never sparred before, taking them to Denver or to Greeley to go spar. They're gonna get themselves. They're gonna probably get hurt. They're gonna get hurt and get their ego crushed. Probably chase them away from the gym to where they're never gonna want to box again. But we start off with, we'll do partner drills. We'll start off with partner drills. When somebody wants to start getting serious, we're like, all right, we'll get you in here and mix it up. And we've been doing that more with the Hibbett class, and I'll explain the Hibbett class here in a little bit, but we started doing that more so with them. But it's like you get with another person and you're throwing punches at them, you're slipping punches, kind of catching punches, and working together without really impact or, you know, taking punches. And then we'll step it up to where after they do that for a week or so, they feel pretty good. We'll go to where we're doing offense-defense drills, to where we do 30 seconds. We'll set the interval timer for 30 seconds, and we'll have one doing on offense, one doing defense. And kind of we'll tell them about 50, 70%, you know, you're not going hardcore. You got to go light, you know, just getting the feel of somebody in there throwing punches at you and moving, because that shit's it's nerve-wracking as hell, bro. You forget to breathe, you lose your whole game plan when shit. So you kind of break them in slowly, you know what I mean? Kind of knowing, and then what we'll do is we'll get it to where, all right, offense, defense, the person on defense can use a jab. So they're on defense, but the person's using the jab so they can come a little bit more, but that's when they start putting mouthpieces in. They need to wear a mouthpiece. And then we'll do offense, defense, and then you guys mix it up, some light sparring. So 30-second intervals, 30 seconds of offense, 30 seconds of defense, and then sparring. And that's when you start seeing they'll catch each other with a punch or two, that's when they start. The shit starts to become.
That's when it gets real.
The shit starts to get real, and it's funny as hell, man. Because it's funny. You could ask the coaches and ask anybody in here. Every fucking time these guys want to start sparring, I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna start off with light work, taking it easy, taking it easy. They get in there, the first one, they'll land a good punch, whack. You'll see the facial expressions change like that.
I thought we were going easy.
Yeah, it's like, all right, motherfucker, all right.
We're going easy.
And then they go with another one, whack, whack. And then before you know it, man, they're fucking swinging for the fences. And I'm like, all right, they're in control. Let it fly, man. Let it go. Just let it go. And they know not to knock each other out, but man, they're fucking.
They get it.
Yeah, we had one kid. We had to ban him from sparring for a week or two at a time just because.
Really?
Well, he just didn't understand his fucking power and his strength, and it's kind of like we're teammates. We're not
you
trying
can
to
hurt.
knock each other out.
Somebody.
Save that shit for when we're in Denver or Greeley, you know. And he's come a long way, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like we're not trying to hurt each other. We're not trying to send anybody to the hospital or nothing like that, which did happen on occasion with the kid, but.
So is that like the only case that you had to like kind of slow it down, or?
Well, I mean, the thing of it is when you got a guy that's really aggressive like that, and you got a kid that's even on the younger ones. You know, I mean, you get a kid that's a little bit better than the other kids, and you put him in there, and he's starting to let his ego take over, and starting to let him get a little too cocky. We'll take him to Greeley, or I'll throw him in here. I'll call my daughter in here, one of my daughters, to come in here and spar with him, just to show them, okay, you're tough, but you'll still get fucked up.
So your daughter's pretty good. They'll fuck
somebody
up.
They'll come in here and work the kids. Even my youngest daughter, she comes in here and works with, like, she hasn't for a little bit, but my youngest daughter, she'll be 17 in July. That's my baby. But she's never competed before, but she knows how to box, and she comes in here and I have her. It's been a minute, but she does it.
Have your other daughters competed?
My two oldest ones have. Yeah, they both competed. They both have competed. Well, we're like in what was it, 07, 08? Our team got pretty damn big, man, because I started training again real big, and I was already professional. And my dad and my mom were living on, I don't even remember what street it was. Diana maybe, or
here in town?
No, yeah, not Diana. Here in town. But they had the garage in the back. And we converted that garage into a boxing ring. Well, kind of anywhere that they moved, we converted their house into a boxing gym, and we made it to where we were training. But that one in 2007 and 8, I'm trying to think, they lived on Grant Street. And we converted that boxing gym, the garage, into a gym. And I was out there training, and my daughters, I'm trying to think of how old they were. They were like 8 and 9 or 9 and 10 and shit, just old enough to start boxing. And they were out there training with me every day. And I remember I just found one of my I would write down my workouts and shit, and I would put notes and like remember, my daughters, they're over here trying their hardest. They're looking up to dad. You know, it's just some inspiring shit to me when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was like in my fucking mid-20s or some shit, and it was nice having my daughters right there training with me. That's what kind of got the fire going again and got me like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And then you started getting some of these kids that start boxing, they start becoming good. We started taking them out of state to like national tournaments and shit.
Oh yeah?
Man, there's a few of them. It was badass. My mom and dad, when they were doing it, man, they had a strong amateur team, man. So my daughter started, you know what I mean? And
started going?
Yeah, they were boxing at that time, and they started competing. So every day I was over there, they were training. Then they had all of their friends start coming in. So we had a strong team of females, man. Our little girl team was badass. And like my daughters, I'll start naming a few names just to throw them out there. Like my daughter Selena's my oldest daughter, Selena Marquez, Alize Marquez. We had two of the Soraya Yanez. I don't know if you know who that is. Soraya, dude, that was probably one of the toughest girls we've ever trained. Another one, Cassandra Miranda, Cassie. She's around your guys, a little younger.
Yeah, she's around my age.
Yeah, she's around your guys' age, so I know you guys know who they are. Like Cassie Miranda, that was another one. She was a fucking machine, dude. What was the other? Sierra, fuck, I can't think of her last name. Damn, I can't think of Sierra's name. That's fucked up.
I know.
But we had a lot of females because it was all my daughter's friends. And they see them boxing. I want to box, and shit. It was fun as hell. Sasha Cross, that was another one. Sasha was a fucking badass, dude. That was dope. I wish she would have kept fighting, man. A lot of them, man. You see, and then like just recently we had Isaiah. Some of our older Isaiah Lopez was one that my mom and dad coached. Xavier DeLuca. Them were the guys like. Gustavo Arellano, you guys probably know these guys.
I know.
You know all them. But they were competing at the time, and those were the guys that were traveling like out of the state to go to. They just traveled to fucking Cincinnati, Ohio, California. They were into the nationals in Nevada.
So that's more serious. That's more serious.
Well, it's stepping it up to that. You know what I mean? As an amateur, you got your local shows, then you have your state tournament. You go to the regionals, you go to the nationals, and at that time. My mom and dad had a strong team, and these kids were just kind of mopping up the state tournament, going to the regionals, winning the regionals, going to the nationals, and just kind of kicking ass. And it was nice. And like right now, like I said, we're developing a team right now. That's exactly the Golden Gloves are in June. And we got a team right now, and that's what I'm looking forward to right now, man. We're gonna start traveling and taking our team all over to kick some ass. It's dope, man.
So how is it? Do you think it'll be open like for this June? Will it be? Or
they have it scheduled, man, and I'm really hoping. Man, I don't even like to even talk about this whole COVID shit, man. I mean, like I said, I understand it's something that needs to be that.
No, I feel you.
But the way that I see it is a limit. You guys can have that shit. I don't want no part of it. You know what I mean? It's like I feel for everybody, but it's like I'm not playing the game, man. I don't want to play the game. So I'm just hoping. I'm hoping, man, and I'm just. Yeah, everything will be good.
They can have it. They can have them go on.
I ain't even tripping. Everything's gonna be good, man. We're gonna open back up and get these kids going and get everything going and try to cut the bullshit.
So do you think for like, because you said like you have a lot of like younger younger guys, teens. Do you think it's good for like the teens to feel that adversity, like because like you said, it can help them out in everything in their life?
Yeah,
do you think it's good for them to do it?
It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. It's just when you see a kid faced with that moment, like when we're in the middle of what I call the Gladiator burpee challenge that we do. We do it, and it's 100 burpees in 5 minutes. And that's one of them. That'll test you to the fucking bone, man, if you can't do that. In fact, we got one kid sitting over here. This guy does 100 burpees in like 3.5 minutes and shit. Really? Dude, he's insane, dude. It's insane.
He's ready.
He's a fucking machine, dude. But you know what I mean? It's just when we do that type of challenge, that's when you start seeing him break, and you start seeing that, like, that's where I'm saying the self-defining moments. And you got me, you got other coaches right there walking around screaming, hollering at these kids, motivating them like, let's go. This is the make or break point, baby. This is the time. This is what it's all about. This is where you got to decide what the fuck you want to do with it. What do you want to do with it? This is your, you know what I mean? So you got me right there chewing on, like, hollering, like, let's go. This is what it's all about. And they're thinking, you know what I mean? They take a look at themselves. All right, am I going to quit? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm going to quit. Or I'm going to keep on going. Like today, we had a kid named Renee that was kind of slacking off, messing around a little bit. And he does that shit once in a while. But today I caught him slacking. We're in the middle of a fucking round, and he's walking back with a cup of water, and I stopped him right here, and I'm like, let's go, keep going, burpees, let's go. We're going. Everybody on the team is doing, but I'm going to do them. No, you're not doing them over there. You're doing them right here. Let's go. And that kid started going, bro, and I would say that was probably the self-defining moment for that kid, because you're going to see him come back, and because he was trying to quit. The dude was trying to quit. And that's the type of shit, when they overcome that type of shit. And even yesterday, day before, he was sparring, and that was another self-defining moment for that kid. And it's just the shit like that, overcoming the adversity. No one
consistency, just keep doing it over.
The minute you keep programming yourself to break that. Break it. I want to quit. I want to quit. Fuck. Keep going. You do that one time. You come back the next day. You're doing it again. Damn. I feel like fuck this. I can't do this. I'm done. I can't do this. You get that voice in your head telling you I can't. You got coach right there. Let's go, motherfucker. What you want to do with it? Let's go. What do you want to make of it? It's on you. This is all you. I'm right there screaming. They dig deep, and they're like, fuck it, let's go. And they push themselves. And that next day, you start seeing them grow, man. And that's where you see the growth come in, man. And I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And that's where I'm saying the growth from every aspect of their life. It's not only in the boxing, not only you see them trying harder over here, but you see them carrying that shit at home. You're hearing stuff from mom, like how much better they're doing at home. You're hearing it from the teachers, because I stay in touch with a lot of the teachers at all the schools here in town. Just because and the principals and shit, just because we got to work together, man. These kids got to know that we're working together.
Yeah. With all that, with the, how do I say it? Like, because you're over here, like, with all the kids that are here training with you, you're trying to, like, motivate all of them. But, I mean, some of them, it's positive, and some of them go negative. What do you think? Do you think it's stuff that comes from, like, maybe their household or some shit that they're like a little soft, or what do you think, or they've had it rough? Do you think
a lot of them have had it rough, and a lot of them that when they get to that breaking point, that's what I'm saying, the make or break point. And it's like, oh, fuck this, I'm done. I can't do it. And them are the type of kids that have probably been told their whole fucking life, you can't do that. No, you're a little shit. You little troll. No, you can't.
All their insecurities and everything starts piling up.
Exactly, man. They develop them insecurities at a young age, and as they get older, they got in their subconscious mind telling them, you can't do that. You're not enough. You're not, you're a bad kid. You're stupid. You're dumb. You can't, you know what I mean? We help them to change that programming and reverse it. And that's what I'm saying. The coach is in here letting them know you can do it. You can do it. They do it one time, they feel pretty good. All right, I did it. They come back the next week and they do it multiple times. It's like you reprogram their mind to let them know, motherfucker, you can. Yeah. Let's get that voice out of your head that you can't. And you can. And that's one of the things you'll hear you can ask anybody in here. You'll hear me telling them, we slow down, but we don't quit. We slow down, but we don't quit. You get that into a kid's mind, man. And that's where the change happens, man. That's where the growth happens, is when they start breaking that programming of, I can't, I'm not enough, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough, I'm not big enough, I'm not, you know what I mean? They overcome that shit and they learn, yes, you fucking can. You got everything it takes.
You better get going.
You get that shit going. It's all
I ain't letting your ass off the hook, so you better fucking get going. Bro,
exactly, man. Yeah, and that's sometimes it's tough even with the parents, because you got a parent that loves their kid. And if their kid's over there, whatever it is, like my stomach or my head, or I got whatever, my arm, whatever it is, and you got mom right there, baby. I mean, it's like that. We're teaching them to overcome that. You don't need to go to anybody for your hurt. You don't need to go to anybody. I mean, if it's real shit, we're gonna take that shit serious. But if you're trying to find a reason to try to mom to baby you, or grandma to baby you, uncle, or whoever the fuck's it is to baby you, we're not allowing that shit. We're not allowing that shit. And then we do get where you get some of these kids that they're in here, and you can see that they're not, I guess, aggressive. The males that are not really the aggressive, tough, masculine. You know, they a little more. I mean, they do better with music. They do better with other arts, which that's perfectly fucking fine. It's just a lot of times they feel like they are, to be a man, I gotta man up.
Yeah,
I gotta be able to do this. I gotta be tough. I want uncle to fucking know that I'm this. I want grandpa. I want dad to, you know what I mean? And it's like you're not built for this shit. You know what I mean? You're not built for this shit. You're a good dude. You got a good heart. You're a good girl. You got a good heart. Whatever it is, but it's just you're not a fighter. You got a great heart. You get some of these guys. It's hard to even get them to fucking hit. You know what I mean? Like they get in there and they start sparring, and you gotta like. We have a guy, son of a bitch. I took him to spar in Denver this week, dude. Holy fuck, he was amazing. But we get him to spar with our teammates, and he's just so kind-hearted. He's like barely tapping. He doesn't want to let go, and it's like
you gotta let him. You gotta let him like go a little bit.
That's what this is. I mean, it's what this shit's about. You know what I mean? It's like it's tough, man. It's tough. But it's fucking fun as fuck, though, man. You guys ought to come down here, man. And
dude, we're gonna have to come. We're gonna have to stop by. You got me pumped right now with all this. You pretty much gave me
I want you guys.
The motivation spiel right now.
I'm gonna give you guys both a free week, man. A free week over here, right, man? And so.
All right, dude.
I want you guys to get over here
during
training camp for sure, man. For sure.
I'm gonna have to take you up on that because I personally been like a lot of that's what I was talking about. This guy over here about the MMA, you know.
Yeah.
More like, you know, I feel like I might know a little bit, but it's not. I mean, it's not enough. Like I heard a quote today from what's his name? George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
He says everyone's a champion when they're hitting the bag. Like and
a bag hit you back.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit you back, so you think you're fucking good until you actually start going.
So I say it's a whole different
ball game. Just at least to know something, you know, maybe like a little self-defense stuff, you know.
You ever do any type of competitive stuff like wrestling, karate, anything like that?
No, I never have.
You never had basketball, anything?
I did football.
Football,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we played football here.
Competitive nature at all?
Yeah, football and basketball.
That's the thing with me. I'm competitive as fuck.
So once you start, you're gonna want to be the best.
Yeah, and that's why I never got into it. Because I already know how I am.
Like
if I go for a fucking run, like, and I'm running right next to somebody, like,
I'm gonna be in front of them.
Yeah. And like I'm gonna be a little like big or whatever. Or if I'm lifting, we're going.
I'm gonna be putting
like
up more
physically.
than you.
Yeah, like physically, like. I'm not gonna stop.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You challenge yourself. That's good, man.
That's the thing. Like, and I've been able to do it. You know, I'll be like, I'm just gonna go run 2-3 miles. You know, by the time you're done, it's like I just ran 5 miles.
Yeah. This is the best place to. This is the best place to get that in there, my man. I'm telling you,
dog. That's the thing. But see, like that's the thing with me.
Amazing.
I kind of know how I am, so it's like. That's good. That's one thing that's kind of kept me away from it.
Baby, man, you'd be able to compete and take this shit
no,
somewhere.
See, that's what I don't want. I don't want to go to the competitive way. I feel like
just more for like the workout and knowing.
Even if that's what it is though, with the competitive nature, you'd fucking be a hell of an asset to the team as far as a sparring partner, teammate, you know, shit like that. If you wouldn't want to, but I could guarantee if you're in here rolling with these dudes like that, you're gonna want to compete, man. There ain't no fucking doubt.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
That's why I haven't came.
So do you guys like take people too who like don't want to compete, just want to do it for the workout?
Well, we take the ones that want to do it for the workouts. Yeah, we have a strong, like I said, man. We're like a family over here. Everybody knows everybody. We're here reaching out outside of the gym, doing things together. You know, reaching out if you need help with this. I mean, whatever it is, man. We're real big like that. So a lot of the non-competitive team, they'll go with us to go to the sparring match. They go to the competitions. Like we got Coach Chris going to be fighting on May 1st. And we got everybody, you know what I mean? They're like, so, well, where are we getting tickets? And we got, in fact, I'm going to put this out there right now. If you're interested, on May 1st, we'll be fighting in Cheyenne. And the only way you can buy tickets is online at spartase.com. And when you buy the tickets, you type in the code Sturgeon, which is his last name.
We'll type that on right there so you can.
Yeah, get that in there. Throw that link up there, man. But you type in Sturgeon, and my man here gets a portion of the ticket sale. So
that's awesome.
And he already declared that the whatever he makes off the ticket sales is going towards mats and going towards the wrestling room.
Oh, okay.
So you want to help out, you want to buy a ticket.
Support.
Exactly. Get out there and support. Even if you can't show up and you want to buy it, you want to help out and support, buy a ticket and show some love, man. We got
How's it gonna work out for the the tickets? Because with the whole COVID, are they gonna be open?
The tickets to go to the show online. But I was just reminded there's a live stream when you can buy to watch it at home live stream, and I think it's a pretty reasonable price. It's a pretty reasonable price, and also when you do that, type in Sturgeon because you get a portion. Like I said, a portion of the sales goes to Chris Sturgeon, and he already dedicated any of the money that he makes from that is going to the wrestling room and it's going to the Fort Morgan Gladiators wrestling program. So if you guys want to help out, get online, man. Check it out. Even if you can't make it, purchase a ticket, show some love.
That'd be good, yeah. Show some love. Make it a better place.
Exactly, man. That's what we're doing, man.
He's willing to donate his part, make it a better place for the community, for everybody else to train.
Getting into Chris, man, how he came along here. He came from Sterling. He was up there training with Garcia, Paul Garcia's Sports Training Center. That's where you're at, right? Training with Paul Garcia. And he moved over closer this way and saw that we had the gym over here. And he's got two MMA fights already. So he's got experience. And he came over and he's asked, hey, let's go, man. We're training. We have a jiu-jitsu coach out of Iowa that was living in Denver. He's a beast, man. It's a black belt. Unbelievable, John Duvall. But Chris started rolling with him, getting him going. And we started getting Chris prepared for fights. And he just started entering jiu-jitsu tournaments. And he's very competitive. So then he started coming here training with us, and we had the wrestling team started coming, and he just said, we need a wrestling coach. He jumped right in, man. He jumped right in and became the wrestling coach. So we started a wrestling program, and he's heading that right now. And so he's the head wrestling coach, and our jiu-jitsu coach moved to Iowa. Okay. So we have
so is he going to be in charge of that too?
Chris is running our jiu-jitsu program now. We have our head coach that's living in Iowa right now. We have our assistant coach, Richard Hager, that is in Leadville. He tries to come down once a week, once every other week. He tries to make it down here, and he's I believe a purple belt or brown belt, purple belt, and Chris is a blue belt. So he's coming over here and getting him trained up, and getting John Duvall's going to come on and kind of help start getting Chris ranked up. So he's getting the skill levels moving on up, the belt levels moving on up, and our entire program's going to move on up. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful that we brought Chris on board, and he's helping move our program, move our whole fucking gym, man, our whole Gladiator family, you know what I mean? Expanding our Gladiator family and making it happen. Yeah. Well, just getting it out there to a group of people like the wrestling group, man. I don't know shit about wrestling, you know what I mean? I love it. I love watching it, but I've never done wrestling before. I tried a little bit of jiu-jitsu. Some of the most uncomfortable shit I've ever tried. It was fun as hell, man. It's fun to do, but it was just different. It's just a little intimate, man. That shit's a little. They give me some range and let me fucking punch you, man. You know what I mean? It's like it's tough. I got a lot of respect for them guys, man. A lot of respect for them guys. That's a tough ass sport where you learn a lot about yourself. It's just like boxing. But pulling Chris on board, though, we were able to keep that going, keep that program going, and actually help elevate a lot of our fighters in the MMA game. Because I'll be honest, man, I don't know shit about the whole MMA. I've been boxing since I was a baby. That's all that I know. My family, boxing's my thing, man. That's I know my part.
You know that portion.
Yeah, I know my part, man, and I know where to let these guys take care of the other part.
See, that's an important thing that you hit though right there, because you're like you're humble enough to be like, hey, I ain't good at that shit. We'll get somebody else to teach you guys. I ain't gonna just try to teach you and say I'm good just because you gotta do your part. I'm good at this.
Have ego. A lot of
coaches
that's what
I'm saying.
Ego,
you gotta be able to separate that.
I think that's what sets you apart from a lot of other people. It's like you're honest with yourself and with your gym and stuff, and
I know my part, man. I know my part, man. I know my part, and I know where, and I know who to bring on. Like I said, and there's been times where we had to let coaches go just because of how they are outside of the gym. It's like when you're in this gym, you are a role model. These kids are looking up to you.
You gotta be true all the way around.
You're not just a coach. You're
not just a coach. You're a role model. These kids are looking up to you. You're like for instance, we had a coach here that didn't know a lot about boxing, but he knew enough, and he was and the kids asked him questions, and you could see where he didn't feel confident. And I had to let him know, man, don't question yourself when these kids come up to you. Because to them, you're the boxing god, man. You know everything. You're the boxing god. You're like the boxing. You know. These kids are 4, 5, 6, 8-year-old kids. They don't know shit about boxing. They're asking you, so they see you questioning yourself.
Like,
But going back to that other coach that was kind of presenting himself as outside of the gym, whatever it is that he wanted to do, he wanted to be a partying dude, which that's fine with me. I got nothing against that. You do you, man. Yeah, you do you, man. It's just if you're gonna be in this gym as a role model, as a coach, we can't allow that shit. You know what I mean? We just can't allow that shit. It's just these kids are looking up to you, and I don't need mom and dad going back home. Hey, I saw your coach at the bar. He knocked out 3 guys and this and that. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
these kids get all
that's
fucking excited.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? These kids like, fuck yeah, my coach is a badass.
Then they want to go do that.
They want to go out and do that type of shit.
It's like, a chain reaction.
It's a chain reaction. Like I said, you got coach outside of the gym, like going to wrestling tournaments. You see him get, you know what I mean, doing family shit. We're doing stuff together as a family. You're doing stuff, things like that. You know what I mean? He's competing outside of the gym in tournaments by himself. He's going to other boxing, other jiu-jitsu gyms, other MMA gyms, getting training in. It's like we want kids to see that type of shit.
That you're
the motivation.
That you're in it too. It's like when you were doing. I mean, you had your professional career. I don't know if you still do your career, but you were training, you're fighting, and you're training other people. Like you're in it. It's not like, oh, I used to, you know.
Yeah. No,
and then they're like this other guy too. He's in it. You know, he got his fights. You know, so he has to train. He has to. It's everything. You know, it's your training with your eating, with your everything. You know.
That's just it, man. You got to live this shit. It's got to be. You got to live it, man. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not just a pickup sport that you go, you know what I mean? Like, I'll play a game of basketball. And I mean, you don't play basketball for a fucking 3 years. Like, you know what? The boys are playing a game of ball. I think I'll go play. Boxing, MMA, that type of shit. Jiu-jitsu, it's not like
you don't play boxing.
It's not a play. Exactly, bro. It's not a game you play. You get in there and it's the real deal. You got a dude in there trying to tear your damn head off. You know what I mean? You can't. You got to be prepared. And that's one of the things these guys, man, I'm getting into that, man. Changing from hitting the bag, like you were saying, everybody's a champion on the bag. Everybody's a badass on the bag. That shit changes once you get in there to spar. Like I said, there's levels, and we kind of slowly progress them on up to be able to just go hardcore sparring. And the anxiety level, the nerves, and I'm not shitting you would. It's surprising somebody that's been training for 3 months and has never sparred in great shape. They can go fucking rounds and rounds on the bag. You put them in there one round with another person.
They go
all the
fucking
boxing
blank.
goes out the window. They go blank. Exactly, bro. They forget everything. They forget to breathe. They forget their steps. They forget because that anxiety, the nerves, you're on a whole different level, man. It's a whole different level of fucking everything.
It's something else for sure.
It's a whole and that's the shit that I love, man. I love that shit.
Those are the moments.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man. That's the heat of the battle, man. That's the shit that I love. I love that shit more than anything. And any competitive fighter that they'll know that's got the competitive nature, they know,
got
man.
That edge.
Getting in there and doing that, it's what it's all about, baby. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So you said you guys he trains MMA and wrestling. Have you had any guys like say from the high school guys or something like on their off season that want to come touch up on their stuff or keep in the loop, because then they'll go they're the season to wrestle or whatever is only a couple months, and then you're the whole year, and you want to come back next year, you're not going to be the fucking
same.
They're
just putting that out there right now. They're the Coach Chris and Coach Kelly Ewing and Siobhan Ewing. They have kids that wrestle. That family right there, the Ewing family, Chris Sturgeon and Leo Bonilla. Them were the ones that were consistent here wrestling every day. Before I said, hey, we have this much mat space. Is it sufficient? Those are the ones that Chris, I'm shit, man. I forgot your fucking question. I'm sorry. I was going on.
No, if the high school guys, if you had high school guys that kind of want to train in their off season,
when they were over here training, they're putting it out there now that the season's over, but we are going to be doing. You're continuing the wrestling practice all year, so they're kind of putting it out there. And before, when COVID was going on, they shut down the wrestling. We had Girallis even stopped by, the high school wrestling coach, and we had about 3 or 4 of the kids that were coming in, and they asked if they can. And we kind of let them in the cage. We done our boxing thing out here and let them do their thing in the cage. Okay. And so we did have some of them that were kind of wanting to keep up on their shit. You know what I mean? Stay training. And like right now, I'm going to put this out there right now. Coach Chris Sturgeon and Coach Kelly Ewing are letting all the wrestlers know on off season we are still training. We are still doing wrestling training, and I believe they're still going to tournaments. Shit, we got 3 of our coaches even wrestling in a tournament in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
There's like a 36 and older division of a tournament, and we got Coach Chris wrestling in the tournament. We got Coach Chris Sturgeon, Coach Kelly Ewing, and Leo, Coach Leo Bonilla. Is he going in that one too? And which one? Aaron and Flores also. We got 4 of the wrestling coaches that are going to be competing with our kids that they're taking to that tournament.
And how does that work? Do they still go by like weight classes and stuff? Or?
Oh yeah, it's still a weight classes, but I believe it's 35 or 36 years old and older. Yeah, 36 and older, and then you go 18 to 35. So these kids, they'll hopefully not be in there with some kids fresh out of, well, they can't be fresh out of college, you know what I mean? Yeah, but they've been training, they've been putting in the damn work, man. It's fucking awesome watching these guys
watching them grow, watching them do.
Well, it's just at the age that they're at, they're over 36, and they got that determination, they got that drive. You can see that fire. That fire lit in the ass again, you know what I mean? It's like they got that fire burning again and that motivation. They're in here grinding, and you got Coach Chris working their asses off. It's badass, man. It's amazing.
And how does it work for them? Like, because I mean, obviously they do it. I'm guessing they love it because they do it. But is there like, do they start getting like paid to do stuff like this, or to do it? Is it all on their own, or how does that work?
On the boxing end of it, it's when you turn professional, man. That's kind of one of the things that I'm real cautious with because it gets to be a dirty game, man. Motherfuckers are ruthless. Anytime money gets involved, things get ugly.
You got more than enough hands willing to take that.
Everybody trying to put their hand in your pocket, and that's kind of, I've watched that over the years in the boxing game. And me being kind of my dad, myself and my mom, my brothers, kind of doing our own thing as far as promoting ourselves and doing our own thing, and watching how dirty these motherfuckers are, man. It's ugly, dude. It's ugly as shit, dude. Anytime they can try to get over on you, they try to get you to fight for as cheap as possible, minimal, nothing for nothing, you know what I mean? And it's like, you're the one out there risking your fucking life and putting everything on the line. Not all of them, I shouldn't say all of them. It's just that, it gets to be, they're trying to find the cheapest bidder. Who's the lowest bid? Who's the lowest? You know what I mean? And you get, like, I'll give you for instance, my professional career, when I turned professional in 2005 and I wasn't going very long, I got a mortgage when I was 20 years old, and not realizing the commitment that I was making, it was like, fucking, that's no bullshit, man. That mortgage is like a fucking mafia, man. They don't give a fuck what happens in your life. Pay me. Bitch, pay me.
You're there for 30 years or whatever you got it for,
Yeah, they don't care what happens. Oh, you lost your dog? I don't give a fuck. Your mom died? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what happened. Pay me. You know what I mean? The mortgage, I didn't realize I was getting into a commitment like that. And I started getting behind on my shit. I'm from the hood, man. I'm grinding. I was working. I'll get into my work history here in a little bit because I was very fortunate with that over my life. But I got behind on bills, when you're a father of I had 3 kids by the time I was 18, 22 with my 4th kid. And it's like, you got bills to pay. You got
stuff to do.
You got clothes to buy for school. You got, they're involved in sports. You got shit. So I get behind on money. And as a professional, they start offering me fights. And there was a time when I wasn't even training at all, and they're offering me fights. And I'm like, fuck, nah, I'm good. Well, we'll pay you another 1,000. They'll offer me like 5,000. Nah, I'm good. Another 1,000. Man, I can't get to that weight. We'll give you another 1,000. Another flight. And they're fucking twisting my arm to where I'm like, man, I'll get caught back up on my mortgage. Oh, shit, there goes the kid's school clothes. Yeah. I know I ain't ready for this shit, but it's going to catch me back up. So I'm like, fuck it. I did that, man. I started doing that shit. And it was like, it got to where.
How did those fights go for you?
I lost a lot of them, man. A lot of them I was unprepared. But I was.
It's because of shit like that.
It was because of shit like that. And it was out of desperation that I was taking the fights. But when it boils down to it, I wouldn't have changed it, man. It saved. I still got my mortgage, man. I'm still living in my house. My kids, they were able to buy school clothes. I was able to buy food. I was able to.
The reason you did it for, everything was.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That was the reason you did it for. Yeah.
And that's one reason why I'm very grateful for boxing, to be able to save me in that aspect of my life. You know what I mean? It was there for me when I was ready to fucking lose my house. I was ready to lose my mortgage. I was ready to lose everything, man. Couldn't keep the fucking bills paid. Couldn't keep the utilities on. Didn't have money to buy my daughter's school clothes. Didn't have money for credit. Well, fuck, dude. When you have 3 kids by the time you're 18, man, money is you kind of shoot yourself in the foot financially, dude. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's tough. Like I said, I got lucky with my work history and how I got with. But when it got to that part of my career, it was like it started happening more often to where like they see that I'm willing to take a fight on a short notice.
It's just like, fuck.
They're like, okay, we'll offer this guy a low number, and we'll know. If we keep throwing more money at him, he'll do it. And I fight at 115 pounds, which is fucking tiny as hell, man. That's super flyweight. So there's not a lot of grown adults boxing at that weight, you know what I mean, at the level that I was boxing at. It's hard to get people. It's hard to get people. So especially like on a lot of Showtime's cards, I got connected with the dude, Gian Benanati from Gary Shaw Promotions, and they had the contract doing all the fights on Showtime through like 2008 up into like 14 and 13 and shit. But so I was connected with him a lot, and he was actually the one that gave me the nickname, the Gladiator.
Oh, okay. How'd you get that?
Hey, check this shit out, man. I was out in what was it in? It was in California. Where the fuck was it? Santa Barbara, I believe it was. And we were at a fight, and it was a Showtime card, and it was like the fourth fight that I had gone over there for that they had called me on a short notice, and it was like the first. I lost the first one. The second one they stopped it because I cut my eye, and it was what's called. In the third fight, I got a draw. Okay. Oh no, I won one. I lost one. I won one, and had a draw on one. Okay. And the dude, John Beninati, he was like, damn, bro, they're bringing you out here to get slaughtered, man. You know, because that's what it was. They were bringing me out there as an opponent to get beat. They needed a win. They needed a win for their guy. Yeah. So he's like, they're bringing you out here to get slaughtered, man. You're fucking making them work, man. You're like a little fucking gladiator. And it was like, you know what I mean, around that time when the Gladiator movie came out, it was like, that was a big movie of mine. I watched it, and it was like, he called me that. And then after that, when the night of my fight at the weigh-ins and shit is when he called me that. Then when I fought, they announced my name as Ernie the Gladiator Marquez, and that shit lit up. I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" I was pumped as fuck, bro. It was dope. It was dope.
Once you get like, I feel like once you get like a little nickname like that, you're just like, hell yeah.
It was like it stuck like that, and then after a little while, they even had it on my box rec as Ernie the Gladiator Marquez, and then it was like it kind of stuck. You know what I mean? And then we started. We brought that name back to the team, like the Gladiators. We're all little gladiators. You know what I mean? We're all, and that's what it was. Is we were the kids that we had on our team were not any of them from households that had money or from households that were well off. You know what I mean? It was households that were fighting. It was a tough fight for these kids. And like I told them, you guys have been brought up as gladiators. You're sitting out there looked down as losers, as somebody that's not going to become anything.
You're not supposed to do this.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to be successful. You're not supposed to be on top of the world like you are. Let's own this shit. Let's take it. We took that name, bro, and like I said, it's one thing that we let these guys know, man. No matter where the fuck you're at, you got what it takes, baby. Let's you know what I mean? And that Gladiator name stuck, man. And it's pretty dope, dude. It's pretty badass, man. Yeah, it's stuck, and I got a lot of pride in that, man. I take a lot of pride in that. It's beautiful, man.
That's one of the things that's pretty good, because you say, like, all the excuses you have, or that you say or whatever, all the excuses in the fucking book are, like, they're valuable. I mean, they're valuable. Like, it's an excuse. But, I mean, every bad shit happens to good people.
All the time, man.
All the fucking time. So it's like your excuses are valuable if you want to stay in that same spot.
Yeah.
But if you want to grow, if you want to do something else.
That's what it is, man. The growth and the change. Like, you got to decide.
Yeah, you got to decide, make a decision right there. Like, yeah, like this excuse I'm putting right now is valuable. Like, yeah, it's understandable. Like, everything, my situation.
And that's one thing I learned. You can make any excuse.
You got to take charge.
You can make any excuse work for you. Any individual can make any excuse work for them that they want. I don't give a fuck what it is. You can make it work for you, and you, like you said, it's valuable. It means it's really a good excuse. It's an excuse to you. It is. Anybody can do that. You know what I mean? Though that's
the game changer.
That's
pretty
the game
much.
changer, baby. When you decide that you want to change, that's what I said. And continually doing that, like day in here, I don't know if I can continue, man. I'm so tired, but continually program them. You can. Yes, you can. Keep going. Keep going. They do that over and over and over. It's in their mind, man. I can. That I can shit's fucking out the door.
It's out.
That shit's out. You know what I mean? It's I can. That's where the power comes in, man. Like you're saying, when they decide to make that change, that's where the power comes in, man.
It's like when you're put in that uncomfortable situation, it's like you're not going to grow as a person or as a fighter or anything until you're in that comfortable
adversity
stage and stuff.
Do you want to talk to us a little bit about your pro career? I mean, some crazy fight or something that you had.
Yeah, there's been a few of them, man. Like I said, it's one of them. I would probably say one of my most memorable fights that I would say that was probably my favorite, man. And this goes into who I took with me in my corner. It was my childhood friend, Ricky Trill. He recently passed away, man, about a month ago. I may get a little emotional and shit, start being like a little bitch crying. But yeah, I know, man. But it's just, you know what I mean? That fight, it was in 2009, I think it was. Yeah, 2009, man. I took Ricky with me, and I fought the 2004 Olympic gold medalist. And in fact, he won the Olympics in 2000 also, man. Jan Bartholomew from Cuba. He was a Cuban dude. And I took him. They called me on a short notice on that fight too, man, in like 3 days.
When was that one?
It was in 2009. But it was they called me like on a 4-day notice, and they were like, "Yeah, we need an opponent." Yeah, well, because a lot of times when they have the matches made, and and during training camp a week out, one of the dudes fucks himself up.
Something happens.
They need somebody, and especially at my weight, there's not a lot of people. They don't have a lot of selection, so it's like
get someone.
You get somebody quick. It don't matter what the fuck it costs, get him. And it was like I wasn't even trying. I was training for another fight at the time, and my boy Ricky was here training with us because he was fighting too. He moved over here from Pueblo to kind of get his shit right, get his life right, because there was a lot of bullshit going on with him. And so I was like, fuck, you know, we took that
Let's
fight.
go.
My dad, me and Ricky was in Tucson, Arizona.
So when you go out there, do they pay for them to fly out there with you guys?
Yeah, they fly. What they'll usually do is they'll usually fly myself and at least one cornerman.
Okay.
But I'm always shooting for two just because it's nice to have two people in my corner when I'm going. But they took me and two of my cornermen out there. That was badass. I even got sponsored by Everlast. They bought me new uniforms, new boots and shit. It was pretty dope.
Oh, shit.
It was pretty dope. But having that one with me, and he had just signed a contract with Golden Boy, so he was supposed to be the new fucking Golden Boy badass. Yeah, just out the Olympics, you know what I mean? Supposed to be a badass. And he just turned pro or some shit, and I was worked his ass over. It was dope.
Were you guys like the same age? Like that?
Yeah, he was a little bit older than me at the time because he was I don't know if you know much about the Cuban boxing situation, but a lot of the Cubans over there stay amateur for a long time because they pay them. The government pays them to stay amateur.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like the World Games type shit where they want to be the fucking best, and so they pay. However it works, but they got a strong amateur program. The Cubans always every World Games, Olympics, everything in boxing, Cuba has a strong team. So this guy was a little bit older than me because he had been boxing for a long time and supposed to be the fucking badass in the next upcoming guy. Yeah. There was a couple of them that defected from Cuba. Jan Bartholomew and what the fuck was the other dude's name? In fact, my last fight in 2014, I fought on the undercard when he fought Terrence Crawford. Fuck, I can't think of the dude's name.
Pretty sure a lot of people know Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Pretty sure a lot of people know.
Yeah, they know Terrence Crawford, but I'm trying to think of who the fucking Cuban dude was. But them two defected. The guy that I fought in, the Jan Bartholomew, and fuck, I can't think of his name. But yeah. But he got cut off of Golden Boy after I beat him, and he kind of his career went to shit after that. Yeah,
you worked him.
I kind of put
for a brief paycheck here, bro.
Yep. I let him know, man. They brought the fucking Gladiator, and
you chose the wrong fucking guy, man.
It was a bad run. I've done that quite a few times, man. I pulled some upsets, and they'd call me on a 2-day notice. One time in Santa Barbara, I went up there. My brother Steve, my dad, and me. That was fucking awesome, dude. It was dope. They called me up there, and that was another televised fight, and it was in where the fuck were we? Because my brother was running. It was where a lot of famous people live. Where the fuck is the name of that? Oh, I can't think of the name of that town out there in California.
Where?
And it's a damn dude. I can't think. Cause my brother
around
went for
LA area or where?
He saw what the fuck is it? Calabasas. In Calabasas, California is where the fight was. And I just know a lot of famous people live out there because we started looking into that shit. And my brother went running. He saw like 2 or 3 famous people and was just like, "What the fuck? This is crazy." Yeah. It was pretty dope, but we went out there, man, and I pulled an upset on them. It was dope. I was actually the highest paid fighter on that card right there, man. I got something like $9,000 or some shit. And it was a smaller show, so they were trying to highlight their local dudes. And they called me in there like on a 4-day notice. I went in there and beat the fuck out of it. It was crazy. I went in there the day of the weigh-ins. I weighed in. The next day I fought, and I flew out that same day. It wasn't but a 2-day trip.
Oh, shit.
Flew over there, weighed in, whipped some ass. Took the money, got paid, and got home, man. It was dope.
Job's done. I'm out, huh?
Yeah, it was a trip. But I was doing a lot of that shit, though. Them short notice ones, like I was saying, it was just because like I was telling you, man, they would twist my arm, and it would be tough-ass fights. Every time you take a road fight, that shit's going to be tough. It's going to be tough no matter what. You got the jet
lag and everything, too. You get there, I feel like.
That's tough, but for the most part, when you're fighting on the road, it's going to be somebody else's promotion. So they got a promoter to put in the money in. They're trying to buy them wins. They're trying to get people for
easy. They're trying to get them
easy wins is basically what it is. So you got to know when you're going over there fighting in somebody's backyard, you're going as an opponent.
Fucked up, huh? Yeah.
It's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up.
Does that give you like another like little extra chip on your shoulders? Like they're bringing me here just to...
And it's kind of, you're not only fighting the dude, you're fighting the crowd, you're fighting the judges, you're fighting the referee. You know what I mean? Like you got all odds against you when you do that shit. Like, I'll give you another example. When I fought in Rhode Island, I'm trying to think of what name it was. The dude was a tough dude, and he was undefeated. Supposed to be some badass. Peachy was his nickname. And he was a tough dude. I mean, but it was in Providence, Rhode Island. And he was right there from Lynn, Massachusetts, which is like right there. So I was like in his hometown. And I went over there, another short notice fight. Got paid pretty fucking nice, though. They called me up over there. My dad, and I think it was just my dad and me, we went to that one. But we flew to Rhode Island. I went over there, man, and it was crazy because I beat the dog shit out of this dude. In fact, the fight's on YouTube even. Each round is on round 1, round 2, and round 3. It's Ernie Marquez versus Sander Beauchamp or some shit. But, man, I whooped his ass. It was crazy, man. I beat him, and they gave me a fucking draw.
Really?
Yeah. That's the type of, dude, it was crazy
that's the type
as shit.
Of bullshit.
Well, but what was badass was right after they gave me the draw, I kind of looked at the fucking crowd, and I'm just going, man, everybody knows I beat his ass. I mean, clearly it was pretty fucking clear. I just whooped this guy's ass. And then I walked around the ring. I put my hands up and I started, giving this number here like, fuck yeah. And the crowd just started fucking going off.
You got the chant
dope,
just going.
Dope. In his hometown, I had the crowd fucking rooting for me. It was badass.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah, it was some dope shit, man. That's some empowering shit. But like I was saying though, man, with my career, taking a lot of them fights like that where you're not going to get the...
Yeah.
You're not going to get the benefit
odds
of that. Yeah, the odds
you.
are against me all the time. And I took a lot of those fights throughout my career, even up until the fucking end of my career. It was just like...
So are you done? You feel like you're done?
I don't know, man. I
or
fought
it depends
in January.
if they come. So what happened? I heard that one was a short one too. No.
All my fucking fights are short notice, dog. I'm the Gladiator.
You're just
man.
fucking chilling, watching TV at home or something.
They call me
hey,
up.
you want to fight?
They just offered me a fight in Puerto Rico just not that long
really?
ago too. Yeah, I'm just going. If they're willing to pay me enough at this age that I'm at now, man, I'm fucking 39 years old, man. I got a lot of mileage. Like I said, not a lot of years. I mean, I'm not super old, but I got a lot of mileage. And that's where I tell these kids, I'm like, man, I'm fucking old. And they're like, you're young. I'm like, I've been throwing punches in boxing since I could fucking stand up. You know what I mean? Like these shoulders, these arms, it's like a lot of wear and tear on these fucking things. So it's like, I got to be careful. And I'm not going to go in there. And fortunately, I'm a very lightweight, 115 pounds. I'm not taking super hard, powerful fucking punches like a heavyweight dude.
Once they get in heavyweight, like,
I mean, you get them heavyweight, you got them guys that got some hard-ass punches, and that's where you can take a lot of damage, you know what I mean? So I've been fortunate enough to where I'm in a smaller weight. I'm not taking punches from big, heavy punches. I mean, I have been knocked out and shit before, but it's never
crazy,
out cold. I've never been like unconscious to where I'm sleeping and then they have to wake me up and I wake up going, what the fuck?
Where am I?
Yeah, it's never been that. It's been, I hit the floor, boom, I'm like, oh, like, fuck. A little dazed, I'm like, I'm good. Then they stop the fight and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not.
Stuff like that.
Shit like that, or they'll stop the fight because you get a cut on your eye and if the blood's pouring down, it's just like, they'll stop it.
Stop.
Yeah. Shit like that, but I had the stoppages that I had were because of that.
Because of that stuff.
Like I said, the end of my career, which made my record super shitty. Them were losses on my record, but I would have to say in life, those were wins. I still got my house.
That's all that
I still got
matters.
my
You're
family's
doing it to
there,
get your...
like, I got my family, I got my house, I got, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I lost with them fights.
See, I mean
it was a loss on my record, and it was, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I don't like to lose. It's not something that nobody wants to fucking lose. But I would have to say, when I look at the big picture, overall, that was a win, man. Those were wins.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can be like you lost in someone else's eyes, but you knew what your goal was.
That's
your goal
what I said.
was for your family. So it's like I'm good.
I knew I was trying to get my 2 months caught up on my mortgage. I knew that I was trying to get my Christmas made for my kids. I knew that I was trying to. You know what I mean? It's just like. And that was my goal, so I accomplished my goal. That's a fucking victory for me. It was a loss of my record, which that does suck. That is shitty, man. I don't like that, but I was able to move forward, man. I'm able to move forward with that. I'm content where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I know exactly what the fuck I did with my career, and I know I could have went a different route, but I also know that I was working 50 to 60 hours a week while I was training, running a boxing gym, and raising my family.
That's rough. That's hard. That's hard.
It's fucking, I don't even know how many, it seemed like there was like at least 50 hours in a day back then or some shit, dude.
Long
I don't even know how the fuck I made it, how that worked, bro. I don't even know how it's crazy, man. It is amazing. I'm grateful for the people I've surrounded myself with.
Maybe you're going to have to go over to Puerto Rico and get it
going,
maybe.
I got my passport now, and they're even asking me about Japan if I'd be interested. I'm like,
damn.
Yeah, I'm
Japan.
Like, well, that's very, very possible.
Right.
Very possible.
Like, maybe take my whole family, get us a badass hotel. We might go for a week.
That's what my wife was like, you're not going overseas. I'm going, why the fuck not? She's like, what happens if they do another run of the COVID and they shut down the airlines? I'm going to be a Japanese man for a while, I guess. I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah.
But I see where she was a little where her concern is, but
yeah.
Man, it's life, man. I mean, let's live this shit, man. Let's fucking have some fun. I'm ready to roll, man.
So how? Because I know when the people are like fighters, they go professional, like MMA or boxing and stuff. Did you guys have to do like random drug tests and all that shit? Or how does that work?
There are. It depends on the commission.
Because they have USADA or something like that.
Well, like for instance, like in California, they'll pick like 3 fights on the card. Like they have a fight card of like 10, 12 fights. They'll pick 3 fights, and those 3 fights got to do a drug test.
Okay,
so it's like
it's just random as fuck. Yeah, it's random as fuck. And in fact, I got myself in trouble one time. I hate to admit this, but we're being real, man. We keep laying it all out there.
Gotta be real.
But I was in California, and I had a fight, man. And I did pretty fucking good. I won the fight and everything, man. But they called my card to to piss for the piss test, and my shit came back with fucking marijuana, and it's like, well, that was illegal in California, and so I got suspended. I was suspended for 6 months and a $1,500 fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was shitty as shit, man. That sucked ass.
And how did that fight go? Did you win? You said?
I won that fight, but I ended up having to.
Still fucking smoking. I'm kicking your ass.
Well, man, I raised 4 daughters, man, and learning to deal with that, learning patience. I would have to say that's been probably my fucking go-to to keep me in line. Because alcohol, I lose control. When I would drink, I don't know control.
So you're down to alcohol?
I don't drink alcohol no more. No, I hadn't drinking alcohol in hard alcohol. Fuck, man, it's been, I don't know, close to 10 years maybe. And then eat beers. I think my wife said like 4 years or 5 years or something it's been. So it's just I need to calm my nerves and I need to relax, but I want to stay in control. And with my weed, my smoke joints, man, I like to twist my flower. And I stay in control and I'm calms my nerves, keeps me in control, and I'm good. So,
what do you think? What do you think for that? Because I mean, if you're boxing, your body takes a lot of punishment, like your joints or whatever. Yeah, like with that CBD or
I was just about
weed.
To say, man, that shit does
help your recovery.
It helps you to relax, helps you recover. Yeah, and there's a lot of different CBD stuff and even our coach Chris, I think, was looking into doing some of the CBD stuff to help with the recovery. And like I said, I myself use like I said, man, that flower's for my fucking to calm my nerves. I raised 4 daughters, man. I had three girls by the time I was 18. That shit's
you put in slow motion a little bit.
Oh man, it slows things down a lot to where I'm able to grasp the fucking whole concept of life. You know what I mean? It's like shit. You know what I mean? We overwhelm ourselves, and when you're that young with 3 kids, you overwhelm the fuck out of yourself. So it's like we all overwhelm ourselves. That's just one way that I use to
just pretty much
calm
pause,
my fucking nerve and
think about the situations.
Yeah. And one thing too is I stopped smoking weed like during the day. From when my youngest daughter was 1 year old, I stopped smoking weed during the day. I wouldn't smoke until she would fall asleep, because I noticed myself getting lazy when I was a baby. I would go home for lunch, I'll smoke, and then I was just fucking, I'm just laid out. She's crawling all over wanting to play and shit. I'm still playing, but I'm just not as, I'm not engaged. I'm not present. Yeah. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not present. So I was like, fuck, man, I realized that. And so I stopped smoking weed altogether during the day. I would just, after she'd fall asleep, I'd smoke.
But what happened? Was there like a moment in that time where you just like, fuck? Like, where you just like, say she would crawl over you and play? But was it just one day you were just like, fuck, man, what am I doing?
It was one day I got home from lunch. We were living on Main Street over on the Taco John's house. That's where we lived. And I was working for my boss. I came home for lunch. And right when I got home, I smoked a little bit. And she was outside wanting to ride in her little, we had a little fucking a Power Wheel.
Okay.
She wanted to ride the Power Wheel, and I'm just going, oh, you know what I mean? I was all fucking, and she didn't.
Too fucked.
She was all sad. Well, my wife kind of lit into my shit a little bit, and she's just like, really? You know? So I'm like, oh, fuck. So and that's kind of, I'm like, damn. And then I started realizing the next day, same shit. She wanted to go on the Power Wheel, and then it was like, fuck, you know what?
I'm fucking done.
Nah, she doesn't deserve this shit, man. You know what I mean? It's a trip, man. I think about my parental shit, my thought process as a parent, man. When you're a 15-year-old dad, man, that shit, that's why I said it doesn't even seem real to me, man. Like the way I was thinking doesn't seem like a 15-year-old would think. Like, that's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah,
I really wanted to be a dad, man. I was loving that shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy lifestyle. I mean, I guess
it's unbelievable, man. And I think being there, watching her born and cutting the umbilical cord, I think and on all my girls I cut the umbilical cord, because after that first one, it was like, I know I can, so I want to. You know what I mean? It's like it's empowering, kind of, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's that connection from your wife, your kid. I mean, it's fucking beautiful, dude. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, unforgettable moment for sure, dude. I mean, I had a daughter, and I went through it too. So I mean, it's unforgettable for sure.
It's a fucking. That was a point in my life. Like I said, at 15, though, man, I had just turned 15. That shit's crazy. But that shit, that's wild, man. That's wild. But that changed the whole ball game right there. That changed my whole fucking.
Yeah, going back to like what you said, like you said you'd kind of go like at home, you know, you'd fucking roll some flower stuff, you know, get high. But people do that shit right now unconsciously. They're doing it on their fucking phones. They go there and they're fucking just on their phone. Their kids are over there. They don't got time for their kids to go play with their kids, to go fucking show them stuff. Man. It's just a different type of drug.
It is,
it's just, and that's what people don't realize.
They don't, man. That phone is the ugliest fucking drug.
People think it's easier. Like, no, I'm not that bad. I don't fucking do drugs. Man. I don't do this. Like, you're on the worst fucking thing. Like, yeah, but you don't know.
You don't realize, and the problem is we're giving it to these kids with no supervision. You know what I mean? It's just you give it to these kids with no, and I should say parents are using that shit as babysitters, giving it to their kids with no supervision.
Because they'll be like, and
that's what
pretty
I'm saying.
much
They're
everybody
just checked
does
out,
it.
like you were saying, man. They're checked out. Like I stopped smoking weed because I know when I was checked out with my kid, I recognized it. And I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, see, man, that takes a lot of fucking.
Well, that's what I said, man.
That's
My
hard,
thought process
dude, like,
as a parent,
just-
it's fucking crazy, bro. It blows my
You're
mind
on
thinking back.
another fucking level, like,
That's
I'm,
right.
like for real, like.
Well, dude, that's what I said.
Like in a good, like I don't mean in a bad way,
Yeah,
because
yeah, I
like
know what you mean, man.
you
I know
ain't
what you mean,
normal,
bro.
like in a bad way. Because
I know what you mean, bro. I know what
but
you
you
mean.
don't
That's
want to
what
be
I said.
normal.
I think back at that shit. It's like, dude, I don't even, like I said, I don't even know how the fuck I was even thinking that. It blows my mind, man. The whole thing, the whole ride, man, the whole fucking journey. It's been beautiful, but it's like, man, how mature my mind was at such a fucking young age is just insane, dude. It was like, I mean, as a father, I guess. And I'll tell you another pivotal point in my life that that was the game changer altogether, man. When I was 17, I went. We were living here already, and I was already living on my own. We had already had our own place. We made a trip back to Pueblo, and my boys, in fact, it was my same homeboy Ricky that just passed away. Bless his soul, man. My brother Ricky, him, my homeboy James, and my cousin Leonard. That was the first time that I ever did acid. And them motherfuckers I took 2 hits in the morning and then 2 hits later on in the afternoon. And that shit was a journey that was, I wasn't in this son of a bitch, man. I was in a whole different realm, but I was able to see everything, man. And I could see it was
What'd you
a game
learn from
changer.
that?
I learned that my daughters nobody was gonna love my daughters like I love my daughters. Nobody was gonna give my daughters what they needed like dad was gonna be there for them. Nobody was gonna care for my daughters. Nobody was gonna love my daughters. Nobody was gonna provide for my daughters. And I only had 2 daughters, man. I was 17, but nobody was gonna provide for them. Nobody was gonna do nothing. And it was a trip, bro. I went through all that. I went through in my thought process. It was a trip, man, because we were like all 4 of us connected, and it was some weird shit. Like I said, we weren't in this motherfucker, man. We were in a whole different realm. But it was when we got to it, and it got to me, because it was like, boom, that's life. And then Ricky went on with his life. It was like we get to going, wham, 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 boom. We hitting different levels, and it's like, bam, that's life. Leonard let us know what his life is about. It was like, boom, boom. We start fucking, we're rolling, we're flying, we're hitting different levels, and boom, that's life. And it was like, wham, it hit me, man. And I'm like, motherfuck. My daughters need me, man. I got to go. And it was a bad trip. After that, it was a bad trip. What I would have called a bad trip at the time. But that was a fucking
you actually
learning.
went back.
Well, when I
to
went
it,
back,
you're just
exactly,
like,
bro, I realized what the fuck it was. It was like, I know I died, man. I was sure I fucking died, man. I died. And I know, it sounds fucking weird, but I know a part of me died that day, man. A part of me died. And that was the pivotal point in my life as far as being a dad, man. Because that changed the ball game, and that changed my whole entire fucking life as far as looking at life as a dad, looking at life as a husband. I was not really a husband necessarily. I was still up to no good, fucking still trying to be thought I was a fucking badass and thought all the girls wanted me and thought, you know what I mean? But that was the pivotal point, man. That shit changed me. That took me to a whole other dimension to see life and see myself as what my daughters needed me to be, man. And from then on, I was dad, dude. It was a trip. It was the craziest shit ever, man. But I'm thankful and grateful for that moment, man, because if it wasn't for that moment, I wouldn't have been able to see shit the way I see shit now.
Do you think people have to experience something like that? Maybe like with some sort of type of a fucking psychedelic or or weed or something? Because like you said, like you just think you're some kid. But I mean, some people it can fuck them up. Like if they do, it can fuck them up bad. But for some people, dude, it can flip their whole fucking life around.
And a lot of times they're starting to use that shit now, even for like depression, for substance abuse, for shit like that. They're starting to use that shit. They're starting to use mushrooms and psychedelics and shit for that. And I wouldn't say necessarily that it's necessary to do that. I mean, you can get into a state of meditation and you can reach that point. You know what I mean? Anymore, I've learned.
It's just that you just don't get to that point exactly.
Because
I do meditation like that, but I mean on a sober, like without any exterior.
Oh, bro, if you were to ever do some meditation on and some psychedelics, even microdosing, man, that's a whole different ballgame.
You're not going to be able to fucking do
No, you're able to dive into yourself, bro. You'll dive into yourself more than fucking anything, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what I was saying. Like,
it's pretty fucking hard.
It's deep, man. It's deep, but you don't necessarily need it. I wouldn't say it's necessary by meditation, and that's one of the things I think we just lose ourselves, getting caught up in all of the outside world, all the outside environment. We lose track of us, of who the fuck we are. And right now with this social media, what I'm seeing so fucking much, especially over the past 4 years running the gym, you see this I guess the best analogy that I use for this shit is kids are living their lives on a stage. And all these young kids anymore are living their lives on a stage. And what I mean by that is everybody, all their peers, their family, even from out of town, out of state, everybody is watching every fucking move they make. They're watching what job they get, who they're with. Mom bragging about the grades, the job that who your girlfriend, if you got cheated on, if you were out partying this weekend, if you were out, you know what I mean? You're just, everybody's watching everything you do to where it's making these kids feel like they got to perform. And they're basically fucking performing. And that's what I say is this social media is a stage for your ego to perform on. And that's basically all it is, man. Motherfuckers out there trying to be who they want everybody to believe that they are.
Because that people are addicted to people's reaction.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is.
It can be negative or positive.
They hold so much value in it, man. They hold so much value in it. And like, it's shitty. You can see a kid do some amazing shit. They put it on social media. They don't get the reaction that they were hoping they would get. And then it's like, fuck, I didn't know why the fuck I even did that. I didn't even know you wasn't even doing that. And it's like, fuck what anybody thinks. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's why I try to beat it into my kid's head. That shit is not real. None of that shit is real. None of that shit is real. The shit you see on TV, none of that shit is real. None of that shit is real. That's all
propaganda.
It's propaganda.
Whoever pays the most is the one that's going to be on there.
Construct the reality of whatever the fuck you want it to be, man. And it's like.
So I heard something fucking pretty cool the other day. It said something. It was because you said like people like they got to perform.
It's all.
But it says, but they were talking about like if you lived your life like if you're the fucking like the superhero of the action movie. Would you be doing the shit you're doing now? Like, say you're the superhero in this fucking movie. Yeah. Are you gonna be sitting at home, just fucking sitting there eating Cheetos and shit? Like, dude, you're the superhero. Get the fuck up.
Do
like,
something,
get the fuck up, go work out.
Or not just that. Like, but people think it's just like physical. The first thing they want to label is money.
Yeah.
Like money. No. And then they want to go like this. No, shit goes deeper.
Yeah. They put value on people.
It's your family. It's your time. It's your.
That's what I'm saying. Time is way more value. I mean, it's like, and that's one of the things what you're saying. They put the money. They let money be their god. Is the way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Is they let money be their god. What I mean by that is they let money dictate
what
every fucking movement they're making in life.
And that's the problem. Like people will be like, oh, this guy makes $200,000. They feel like give you certain respect. This guy only makes $30,000. Fuck this guy.
See,
that's
one
the fucking problem.
That fucks me up right there, man.
Yeah,
that's one of the things where they put the value on that shit, where it's like you're not putting any value in humanity and how good of a person they are, how good of a heart they have, how much they're willing to help somebody, how much they love, how much love they're spreading, how much they're helping people. You don't give a shit about that. Like there's homeless people like my dog. We do a lot of shit with a lot of, like, even out of town, man. In Pueblo a lot too. We in Denver. My brother, he's working out there on 16th Street where he does a lot of community
helping
work
out
for homeless people. And that's one of the things that homeless people, man, they're a lot, I wouldn't say all homeless people, but a lot of them they are very compassionate. They know what the fuck it's like to not have
shit.
So they're willing to, if that's all that they're willing to give you all that they have. If they have a $10 bill, they're willing to give it all to you.
And it fucks me up more. I don't know if you kind of seen some of this shit. People that be like, oh yeah, I want to give to like homeless people, but when they go give them something, they're like, we got to record it. So people can see, like, if you really give a fuck about it, dude. It doesn't matter. No one has to see.
Nobody has to see that shit. Nobody has to see that shit, man. That was one of the things, man, that I don't like to put, like, I don't like my face to be the one. I did this. I bring, it's my team, man. My team. We all do it together. I may be the one that initiated it, but and that's kind of one of the things that I was surprised when they fucking. Dude, when they hit me with that Citizen of the Year award, dude, I was like...
Yeah, so you got Citizen of the Year.
Yeah, that shit was like... Because it's like, that's not what I do. I'm not out promoting. This is what I'm doing. Hey, guys, look, I'm helping this person. I do that shit out of my fucking heart because I love to do that. That's what I do.
And that's the thing. Stuff will just fall in its place.
And that's
You're
just
just doing
man.
it out of your
because
heart.
Out of my heart. Doing it out of the love of my heart and doing it out of love, it's a whole different ball game as opposed to doing it out of status or out of... what my daughters call it clout, trying to be fucking, and it's like, we don't do that shit. That's why it was a surprising thing to me when I was nominated for that, and I found out that one of my wrestling coaches nominated me for that, and it was just like, that shit didn't even seem real, dude. I was so crazy. Fucking like flattered and shit, dude. I swear I didn't want to get on social media when that shit first came out, because I was just like all like flattered and shit, dude. I was like, dude, people really think that I'm fucking something. Like it was like, damn, quit, man. It was like, man, you know what I mean? Like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I didn't even know how to fucking act, man. I was all flattered. Every time I'd open it up, I see something, I'm just like, man, I start crying and shit. I'd like, fucking, I gotta close that shit. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Yeah. So what? I also heard that you did like, so people didn't have, because they weren't going to school through
Yeah, they
COVID.
cut the school down,
So
yeah.
you were you and a couple people, like, I don't know, probably
It was
from
our
the
team,
gym or
man,
your
yeah.
community. You were going out and delivering lunches to people's houses, like the kids.
Yeah,
Because
well,
they
the
would
way that
How
worked, man,
was
is
that?
the school district was giving away. They put it out there on social media and on the newspaper and shit that being that the houses they were shutting the schools down, they still had school lunches that they were going to give the kids a breakfast and a lunch at the school. But they was 3 different locations. I think the middle school, the high school, and I don't even remember, but there was 3 different locations where they can pick up the school lunches from. Well, we had some kids some families from our gym that they didn't have transportation. Like, for instance, one of them, grandma had fucking 8 kids because moms were working and they didn't have no babysitter, so grandma was home with the kids. We had 2 siblings that were like the older sibling watching the younger sibling, and it's like the parents still had to work.
Rough on the families.
Yeah, we kind of disrupted the fucking families bad, man, to where they didn't have transportation. So it was like, I talked with them and I said, okay, well, if you guys need a ride, we can give you guys a ride. When they start giving the lunches away, I'll swing by and pick you up and we'll get you guys lunches.
Yeah, but
well,
I heard it was hundreds of lunches. I
it
heard it was.
Well, it started out, bro. It started
just
out
so because I feel like you're trying to make it sound like, oh yeah, just a couple people. Nah, I heard it was hundreds.
Well,
for you to not soften it up.
No,
that
I'm
much.
not, bro. But it was just like, it started like that, man. It started with we were helping kids, and then it was like I was getting messages from hey, we have to work right now. My sister's at home with our kids and her kids. You know, would you be able to go to 4 more lunches? Give me the address. We'll write down them. Then we get more messages. So I put it out there like and made a post like, hey, if you guys lack transportation and you need somebody and you have kids at home that need lunch, reach out and we'll be able to get you we'll get lunches to the kids. Well, the first couple of days that we started going through the line, I stopped and told the lady, her name was, she was the mom of one of my daughters, Kinsey, and damn, now I'm drawing a fucking blank from my friends. Fuck, dude. But anyways, there was the ladies over there, Brenda and I feel shitty now for not knowing their names. But I let them know. I said, okay, just so you guys know, you're probably going to see me multiple times through the line with different kids. I'm not coming to try to steal all your fucking lunches. It wasn't like that, but you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not coming to try to take all the lunches. I'm just bringing more kids.
Helping them out.
I'm like, so you'll see my vehicle through here a few times. And they were like, oh, okay. And then like 3 days later, she told me, she was like, hey, our boss told us if you give us a list of a number of lunches that you need, we can just pack them up for you and you can come pick them up behind the school.
And so you were picking up the kids and then taking them to school and
That's
then taking
what
them
I
back
was doing.
home?
Then taking them back home
but they're like,
with their lunches and then go pick up the next family, take them, get their lunches. And I think it was like a 2-hour process that they were giving lunches away.
Okay.
So we spent about a little over an hour driving the kids, picking up lunches. So that was just for like first week. But then they told me that. So I was like, anybody else, if you guys need lunches, shoot me a number of lunches and
we'll take them.
And we'll a number of lunches that you need. And then so we got up to, I think, man, shit, we're doing like, they cut us, they limited us like at 100 lunches. And then the ladies, man, they're fucking amazing, bro. You know what I mean? It's just, that's why I said it's amazing the connections you make and the people that genuinely give a damn and are willing to help. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it worked out to where we were getting like 150 lunches a day. And then it got to where some of the kids weren't at home, so we'd have a couple extra lunches. So we'd go to take other lunches. And then it got to where we were delivering more lunches than we were getting. So we ended up doing stuff to where my dad's a vendor over here. He does Mission Tortillas. And he knows a lot of the vendors around there. And we connected with the vendors and Rising Up, the lady from Rising Up. And we were able to do more than just, we had 150 lunches, but they were able to provide us with more, man. And so, damn, bro, it was fucking amazing, man. We were helping out with that. And then we got connected with one of our ladies that was that trained with us from Centennial Mental Health. So we were able to offer some mental health stuff. You know what I mean? Like some it was amazing, bro. But yeah, with the lunch thing though, we ended up doing to where we were delivering, I think we ended up counting, it was something like throughout the whole thing, like I don't know, 30,000, 20,000 lunches or something. I don't even know. It was something ridiculous, dude. It was something ridiculous. It was like, damn. And it was crazy. We'd go to every day to the school, come back in here, we'd move these chairs, we'd back the truck all the way in, and we'd have teammates, like we'd have drivers. Like my daughter, Selena, my oldest daughter, she was one that was always a driver. And my mom and Selena were the two that were right there, you know, the whole fucking way through. My mom ended up having to, towards the end, you know what I mean, she was doing stuff, so it was just my daughter, Selena, and me that were the ones that were there every day. But we had helpers once in a while, everybody coming in. They were like, so we divvy up, you take these 20 lunches, here's a list of addresses, 5 to this address, 5 to that address, you know, 4 to this address, 3 to this address. And it was just, we were just getting, man, and it was dope. It got to where we were, we were doing, I think it was 170, 180 lunches, and we ended up not able to get as much lunches from the school. They limited us over there, so we connected with Rising Up. We connected with my dad and some different vendors that were giving us stuff. And then my wife, my mom, they would make breakfast burritos. So they would do something to where we were able to have more than enough food for everybody.
For all
you know what I mean?
people.
Make sure more
That's
than enough.
good.
And it's just like
That's awesome, man.
it was dope, bro. It was amazing, and just reaching out and the people that were willing to help out, man. It's crazy. This whole COVID shit fucked up a lot of things and disrupted a lot of families. And I started seeing that shit. The more and more that I'm out there, you see these anxious kids that they just want to fucking go out and play.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, it was a treat for like me every day when they would stay. They was like, for them, it was a treat to see me. And right when I would knock on the door, man, it was fucking cool as shit. All the kids come running up to the door. Lunch is here, lunch is here. And then you'd hear all the kids run up to the door, and it was fucking amazing, bro. And they were always like, thank you, what are we having today? What do we get to them? They were just, it was fucking amazing, man. And it was like, and it was not only me that was doing that, it was each of our drivers were able to experience that, you know what I mean? To where
that's the best.
it was the best, bro. It was the best because it was like these kids didn't have shit. They weren't able to leave their fucking house. And the brightest part of their day was every day when they would get the lunch, and they remembered that face. They remember the.
It's like it's like you can't fail them. You got to fucking go back.
It was beautiful, bro. That's what I'm
gotta...
saying. And it was like when we ran out of lunches and didn't have enough, it was like, fuck. While we were able to skip these guys, and now we got a new household on the list with 4 more lunches that are like, and we're not getting enough from the school. So that was what ended up happening is we're picking up other households that were not previously on our list, but because we had extras a day or two or a week or whatever, this family was on vacation for a week, so we had lunches for a week.
Okay, so you had that.
So we picked up another household. Well, that household's back now, so it's like, fuck, now we got 5 more lunches that we need to get and that we don't have. So, but we made it work out though, man. Like I said, we made it work out to where we were making sure these kids were fed, man.
No, that's awesome.
Was it like over the summer too, or is it just like?
It was over the summer. It started over the summer, or when COVID first started.
Okay.
And then and that was the school district was doing that, and then after when summer came along, it changed to the summer lunch program, school lunch program. And when that changed, we had to get a list. And that was when we had our list, and they wanted us to they had a list of everybody. And it was like, it was kind of a little bit tough because it was like they wanted them to be students and they wanted them to be in school.
Oh, okay.
Well, we had some households that you have a couple of siblings that were not even in school yet.
Little kids. But I mean, they still got to eat.
Yeah. It's like, we're not going to fucking tell our kids no. So it's like, we just kept them same numbers, and we were just like, and one of the things that we ended up having to do, it was like, we used, like my kids that were in school, their name, my brother Ryan, my brother Dave, we would use their names just to get the numbers up for the lunches that we can have.
Cheat the system a little bit.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not necessarily cheating it, bro. It's not cheating. That wasn't cheating. It was making the lunch available for the kids. That's all it was, bro. We were just making it work. Making it work, bro. You know what I mean? We were working the system is what we were doing.
There you go.
Because we wasn't necessarily like that lunch wasn't going to a kid.
Yeah.
It was just,
you're still helping.
We needed the numbers, man. So it was like we made it work. And then even after we got over our limit, we still made it work. We reached out to other people and other organizations, and we still made it work.
That's what's crazy. Like the whole community came together.
It was fucking amazing, bro. And then everybody was seeing the decline of the mental health of all these kids being stuck in their houses. And not every household was a suitable environment for kids to be brought up. And I mean, regardless of what it was, whether you got parents that work graveyard shift and they're home every morning and they ain't even up because they're fucking trying to sleep and they got shit going on, or whether you got mom and dad both trying to work full-time jobs, trying to keep the bills paid, and then you go get into some other shit where you got drugs involved or alcoholism, or you got a bad boyfriend, or you got a bad girlfriend, or whatever it is, you're creating chaos in that household, in that environment for that kid. And a lot of times, the school is the only fucking getaway for that kid where they feel safe and they feel comfortable.
And you
take that shit from them, they're stuck at home, and it's like, it's fucking these kids up, man. Like, what do you do now? And then you get to where you get a group of people that are giving lunches out, and that the face that they see every day is the fucking most, that's their only joy for the day. That's the biggest fucking excitement for the day. It's like, man, it's cool because you become somebody to that kid, and that kid is excited to see you every day, man. And it's like, you can't not show up.
Yeah,
you got to be there for that.
That's crazy.
It's amazing, bro. It's beautiful, man. Like
I said, all this you're telling us and stuff is like, to me personally, I don't know, like, still surprised you got citizens there. You're like, damn, dude, you brought everybody. I know. Pretty much because of you brought everybody. Like, everybody worked, but you were like the leader that kind of united people. Were like, hey, I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of
the one that started it.
I use it.
I know you won't take his credit for it, but I mean,
I use the same way. Like I tell my team, man, I can be here. I'm going to be here to motivate you. I'm going to be here to inspire you. You got to put in that work.
Yeah.
You gotta, and just like same thing,
Dude,
man. I'm gonna be
awesome.
here to get shit together. I'm gonna be here to get these lunches together. I'm gonna reach out and try to get people. But if we don't work together, man, it will not work out.
It's not.
And I learned that
You
shit
work
with
as
my
a
wife,
team.
with the family, man. If you do not work together, it will not work out. So I love that. Like I'll take the pride in it, man. I take the credit. You know what I mean? But it's like it wasn't. We work together in this shit,
it's a
man.
team.
We're all in this shit
Teamwork.
together. You know what I mean? And that's what it takes. And it's the love that we have. Like I said, I've surrounded myself with some amazing fucking people on. It's unbelievable, man. Like, especially like now the coaches and shit that we're getting on, the new coaches, the people that was from the school district that we're able to get lunches from.
It's your whole
the
team.
Like I said, it's just you surround yourself with the
people you
right people,
surround
man.
yourself
Like I
with.
said, I may be the light shining, but man, I'm lighting other fucking lights and other candles, and we're shining all over the fucking
Shining,
place. And we're you know what I
shining.
mean? We're bringing light to everybody, man. Like I said, and one of the things that we try to say, like with our Facebook page, that the ones that help us run it, it's like I had my some people that were running, even my daughters, where they were like they feel a certain way about a certain situation, whether it's political, whether it's religious, whatever it is, they feel like they don't like it. They want to put that on the page, and I let them know that's not what the fuck our shit's about. I understand that you don't like that. Find something you do like and put something on there about what you do like. We're showing love. We're spreading love. We're spreading positivity.
Spread positivity,
We're not going
not
to put out
hate.
negative bullshit. I understand that shit went down and there was bad shit that happened. Everybody's sharing that shit on social media. I don't give a fuck. That's none of my
everywhere.
business. That's
That's
everywhere
already-
else.
yeah.
We'll let them have it. Share some positive shit. Share some shit about somebody that's, you know, some feeding some kids, somebody that's building some homeless shelters, somebody that's, you know, what I mean, some positive shit. We don't want to, we understand there's a lot of negative. And if it's out there, I mean, if you're looking for it, you'll find it. Guaranteed,
Oh, yeah.
if you're looking for the shit, you're going to find it. But if you're looking for the positive shit, you're going to find it. And that's what I'm saying. You go to our page, you're going to find positive shit.
gonna
It
be
ain't
on
going to be
there.
nothing, you know what I mean, more positive, more inspiring shit. Nothing about fuck this or fuck that, you know what I mean?
Where could people find you? Because you said your Facebook page.
I know.
What
If you
is
go-
it?
Fort Morgan Gladiators, man. If you go to the Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing page, the Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing page, and we got a team that helps run the page, and I'm on there quite a bit, and that's basically the only social media that I'm on more than anything. I would say because 3 years ago, my daughters, when we started the boxing, they made me an Instagram and they made me a Snapchat. And that's
Didn't
all
use
that
them?
I use it for is just boxing, just
that?
this.
So
Man. Just-
Facebook's your main one?
And Facebook's the only one that I have my own personal account, but I use the boxing page more than anything.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I use the boxing page, and now with the Instagram and Snapchat and shit, I use that.
Not
you know?
that?
Well, it's like, man, I got to
Okay.
keep up. I'm about ready to get
It's
on
too
TikTok.
much, huh?
I'm about to start
Too much
getting-
to keep up with
well,
all
shit,
this
I'm about
shit.
to get on TikTok and start doing some shit because I'm missing the train. You know what I mean? It's like all these kids are like, if you're not with it, you're gonna
Gotta
get
get
missed.
on
You know
it.
what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
get on it, and it's like I don't even know how to go about that. I'm like trying to tell my daughter, like, you know how to edit these fucking videos on TikTok? Do some cool shit. Some cool videos, you know what I mean? Like walking in with somebody wrapping their hands, and then maybe I don't
Stuff
even
like
fucking
that,
know, just shit like where you know how they do the editing because it's got an amazing editing and the app on it, the TikTok app. There's some amazing editing features that I wish I fucking would just take the time and learn.
Just got to take some time to put it
Yeah,
together.
but you know what I mean. Just jumping on that social media, that they can find me the Fort Morgan Gladiators. So that's what it is on. Facebook is where you're gonna find more than anything. Instagram and on Snapchat, but just FM Gladiators or Fort Morgan Gladiators, or even find me, man, Ernie Marquez.
Ernie Marquez.
Ernie
look you up.
Marquez. Ernie
Dude.
like Sesame Street. Yep.
Cool. Ernie, well, it's been nice talking to you, man. It's been
Yeah, man,
it was
it's
a
awesome, man.
it was a badass talk.
That's
We
it.
went on-
We'll get into some more deep shit. Like I said, next time
Dude,
around.
next time
let
around,
me
we'll
know,
get-
man. Next time around, you want to
get
get some subjects that we want to touch on and we want to get deep with. Like I said, man, I got a lot of life experience in a short
Yeah.
amount of time, man.
Yeah, let us know, you guys in the comments or whatever. Let us know what other topics you guys would like to hear Ernie talk
Like
about.
I said,
And we'll
whatever
keep-
you want to hear,
we'll
man.
Keep going.
I got a mind full. I mean, the way that I see it, man, is I feel like I acquired quite a bit of knowledge, but the more that I learn, the more that I realize I don't know a fucking thing, man. The more that I learn, the more I realize there's so much more out there. Like the amount of knowledge that I have, like I guess I told this to my friend a couple of days ago. I'm like, the amount of knowledge that I have as opposed to the knowledge that's out there, it's like a
nothing.
drop of
Yeah.
sand in a fucking desert.
desert, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and she's like, but you know this, you know? I'm like, I don't know shit. I mean,
I just know a little
I
bit.
know a little bit from
That's
experience,
it.
from what I've experienced in life, and I fucking love it, man. And I know love is the motherfucking answer when it boils down to it. When it comes down to life in general, love is what we got to be operating out of, man.
Positivity.
If we're operating out of love and vibrating out of love, shit, everything is beautiful.
And I think that's just like another example of how humble you are. You don't want to like take too much credit for anything. You're always keeping yourself in
That's what makes
check
you
and
great.
keep learning. That's
just it, man.
what's special about you.
It's just the humility, man. I've learned to kick the ego. That the ego is not who I am. That's where I've learned that, man. I've learned the ego is not who I am, but It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
Okay. Ernie, it was an honor to have you on the podcast and for you to share stuff with us. Some of them were a little bit more intimate or whatever, and for you to give us your time to be on here.
And know, man. And I mean, anybody that's listening, you guys want to hear some more?
Let us know.
Whatever we want to talk about, man. We'll get deep. We can get into conspiracy shit. We can get into
life
shit. We
can
get
whatever. Don't even get it started on
politics. This is shit that I don't like to talk about, but I love diving into it with open-minded people that are not going to get offended.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, here we go, man. Right on, fellas. Thank you guys, man.
Yeah, please give us a follow, like, and subscribe on our channel, on our social media.
Inception Media,
and
right?
so we're also running Inception's Media. But we got this. This is the Totem Podcast. Thanks for you guys for everything.
We'll be sharing it on our Gladiator page.
Thanks for letting us be on here and take some space out of here.
Oh, it's amazing, bro. Anytime you guys want, man. Anytime you guys would want to, we'll set this shit up in the ring next time if you guys want.
Next time,
man.
we got to be in there.
We'll be in the ring. We'll set this shit up.
There you go.
That'd be dope, man.
Sure.
That'd be nice, man. But right on. Said I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for being on, bro. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Peace out.
Out of the darkness, I rose up.